This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. This show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Well, good evening, 7 o'clock on the dot. It is Tuesday night. You are in Studio C. My name is Clayton McKee, and I'm with Katie June Al Perkins. You can just wave it. There's your camera. There's your camera.
It is weird without the TV.
I know it is. Marnie and Aaron are both here. It's a full house tonight on the show. Also, we're going to have a little food coming up. We've got apparently something about Thanksgiving this week. I'm not really sure. And some people about an African-American Fridays going on. There's so many things to happen this week.
Multicultural Friday.
I don't understand half the shit that's happening this week. But it's all good. We're here. Hello, and thank you for listening. All of you out and about, wherever you are in the world. All the ships at sea, as I like to say. Let's see who we have. My gosh. Well, we have Israel, Canada, U.S. currently listening to us. Thank you very much. So much happening. Hi, Katie.
Hi.
How are you, darling?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm just dandy, and I thought, well, we'll just start with what? Why are you so confused looking?
She's wondering about the television.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You need to not worry about the television.
Yeah, my fat ass needs to worry about the television.
No, you're not. No, you don't.
You're just off the list of people that can see what we're doing.
Yes.
That's pretty fucking
It is. Well, and your mic needs to be in front of you. There's that. Good God, I feel like we're unsettled for you two. I'm not sure why, but now you, my dear, turn on the microphone, and you have headphones, so press and hold the microphone.
And I love that you have your own mic. This is an exciting new feature of Studio C.
Is it on standby? You have to press and hold it till the green light comes on. Is it?
Well, now it's on.
Well, no.
Hello.
Give her a little hand, would you? Stand by. She's never used the.
Hello.
Oh,
there you go.
I'm like, it did look very on.
there you are.
I'm looking confused because it's past my bedtime, so I have to go to Starbucks. Does anyone want anything?
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
I love you.
Yeah?
But I can't take one because otherwise I will never make my bedtime.
Yeah.
I figured I'd let you guys get started, and I wouldn't just trample all over your conversations first.
Oh, well, that's why the mic's there, dear.
Hooray!
So you can, hello. That's why I've
Trample
confirmed with her
away.
that you were coming to make sure that you were still coming today, so I could make sure that it all was coming together, because we have the ability. I have 2 more of those mics too, so at some point we're going to fill the studio with a bunch of people and
Fun.
have a fucking
I like
party.
it. I'm ready for
Fun.
it.
All right, so you're leaving us now.
Does anybody need anything from anywhere?
No,
Thank you, no.
I really appreciate the corporate plug and sponsorship placement right there with the Starbucks. That was nice. That's
Yes.
good.
I'm trying to think what might be easier because Starbucks really is in our neighborhood. Oh, unless you go to the grocery store.
Well, there's
There's
one.
one at
The
Fry's.
fries.
Right?
There's one of
This
every.
is more product placement than I suggested. I'm not giving locations.
What's on the corner of
Dutch Brothers.
Dutch Brothers?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
There's that one.
That's local, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll go
And,
there.
Really.
and there's one guy that's really cute that works there, but you won't.
Well,
Very
then I'm
good.
on my way.
You won't care. And he doesn't know that I'm stalking him, so don't tell him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Top secret.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
I'll
won't
back.
be able to guess which one it is either.
No.
I don't even know that he's Mexican or Latin. I don't know that he is. He's just cute.
You might just be really tan.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Just go get your Java for God's sakes.
Okay.
So much going on.
Papa Joe.
And don't worry about that door, because that door's swelled with the
Yeah.
rain. So just
Yeah,
don't
I
worry
got
about
it closed, but
It
yeah.
swells when you touch it.
Memories.
That's what he said.
Yes. Well,
These out there.
there's that. We'll flip it around and go to our
There
break.
is about to be a new Starbucks, though. And again, this is not helpful for people that don't live in town.
10 feet
But
from the other
from
one.
the grocery store.
Right.
Which there's one. Okay, so there's one in Crack Fries, which we speak of often.
Oh, yeah. Zombie Apocalypse Fries.
There's the one in there. And thank goodness for it, because it took it just, it's nice to walk in. You still may see crack addicts, but you also see a lovely Starbucks. So that helps. Then there's one down the street at 7th Avenue in Missouri. And now there's one
Oh, and don't forget the one at 7th Street in Missouri. Yes.
And now there's one in the parking lot of the Fries. There is literally a Starbucks in the Fries.
It's insane.
And there's one.
Well, that's at 7th Street in McDowell, too. There's a freestanding and one inside the Safeway.
Oh, that's right. There is. I forgot about
What
that.
is
And
that
I enjoy
about?
both. I've been known to, sometimes I need the freestanding, sometimes
Sure.
I need to make it part of my grocery experience.
Okay, well, I guess, you know.
Bitch need them coffee.
But is
Yeah, they do.
I
as,
even
as
say
the
the
Native
same
Americans would say.
I say the same thing about car lots. Like, there are so many car lots. How the hell do all of them stay in business? So there's not only a billion Starbucks, there's a lot of other, like our
you're right.
Lux and our Copper Star. And what Refuge is the new one.
Oh,
over
yeah.
here. There's so many.
But Refuge has coffee
and wine. Well,
So
Lux
does
has an
Urban-
entire bar.
and
Oh,
Ur-
Lux. Yeah. Oh, I love Lux.
Urban Bean has coffee and wine. It's really called Tertio Wine Bar.
Oh, okay.
Oh, a urine sample.
What is Marty got going on down there? You've got
Little OJ.
Yeah. I feel like there's a smoothie about to happen or some sort of an emulsion blender.
It's just pre-mixed.
Oh,
that's a smart girl.
You
Yeah,
found the vodka
That's
hiding
a
in the
smart-
orange
smart
juice.
girl.
Oh, good for you.
I feel like you need that. I feel like it's medicinal.
Yeah.
It is. That's what it started. The whole thing. I thought, well,
Oh.
I'm not feeling great, so I'm going to have some orange juice. And then I went,
Better with vodka.
fucking tasty.
You know what?
And oddly, feeling better.
Just within 2 sips.
Just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Breathe it in, baby.
Better
Breathe
than
it
a
in.
Halls. Better than a Halls
Product of
menthol.
Poland.
Yeah.
Okay. All of a sudden, I feel like we're like this is the way we're starting. It's just very off for some reason. I'm not sure why.
This needs something.
It's all good, but
A little more vodka.
What is that? What?
Whipped cream vodka.
Oh, so you're doing
Oh,
orange
yum.
whip. You're doing orange whip.
I have
Like a creamsicle.
raspberry in here.
Oh,
Yeah. Raspberry.
And OJ.
Yeah.
And now I need a little whipped cream.
Yeah. Wow.
That's all.
So
I
it
think
is
that
kind of,
sounds
it's like a
delicious.
grown-up smoothie.
Yeah, it is.
In a lot of ways.
Get orange Julius.
It is weird to not have the monitor there.
I'm sure it is, but I figure that eventually
It's not for me.
For those of you that
I have the occasional look back.
for
That's
but-
because you're not fat.
I'll go with
Look at it, I brought-
I'll
I
go to
brought
the new
our-
wide shot. So for those of you that know, right here in this
So we
corner,
have salt and pepper.
as I am motioning to it, there was a monitor
are cute.
that we could all see what the camera shots were and what it all was there. So now I've taken that away so that we're not conscious of it, and then it now is just. Hopefully we'll just be more relaxed. Like because
Well,
last week we were very, very relaxed.
Yeah.
Well, you know what makes me laugh is I didn't realize how often I don't look at Marty because I just look at you on the screen.
Oh,
Like I don't look that way very much.
Oh.
It just occurred to me that I really do just look at you in the screen, and that's
So-
how I find out what the hell she's doing.
so we're trying to discern all
Yeah.
of this,
But strangely, I never, even when I watch it back, I don't look
Yeah.
at myself. I'm always like, oh, there's a fourth person.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily pay attention to the fact that it's that, like, I'm not staring at it.
Yeah.
But it's just a.
But that way I know, oh, you should move to the right.
Well,
that's
eventually,
kinda funny.
well, the other
That's
thing that I've
funny.
been doing
Sit
is
up
I've been
straighter.
Well, I've been working on the camera shots because I told you at one point all we
I
had.
know you told me that it was wider.
The
That's good.
the camera shot on you was like literally, it looked like we were showing you just from the neck up, like you were just the bust
floating
of Barney.
head.
Yeah, so I changed that so that we can see you a little bit better.
Thanks.
Yes, got that. But I wanted to fix everybody's camera shot because it just was all a little bit off. Everybody sits a little differently. So that's what we've been working on. So hoo-ha. It's all there. It's all good.
Well done.
Do we have confirmation that it's on, that it's playing?
Should be because nobody said I've got no text messages.
Because your
Everything-
mom watches, right?
Mom watches, and then what? Harrison listens.
I think Harrison listens.
Yeah, Harrison's listening. She's out there, so I believe so. I've heard nothing bad. So if you are watching and want to hit us up in the chat room, let us know that we're on. God, would you do it, please? Because that's helpful. Katie.
Hi.
I thought you
Hi.
might grab that straw. I'm like, why do you need her to have a straw?
What new diet are you on? What's happening? How's your week?
Well, I did make for our pre-Thanksgiving extravaganza.
Welcome New Zealand and Australia again.
Oh,
Hi,
Tomo,
guys.
right? Tomo?
Tom,
Oh, yeah.
Tomo is in New Zealand. If
Welcome
it's the same
back.
guy. Unless he's spreading the word over there for us. Go ahead, Katie.
So I bake and I really like to bake. So I've been experimenting with gluten-free cut crust. So
Okay.
I've tried a few different kinds. There was one that literally called for 18, and I'm not joking. Okay, let me not exaggerate. Literally, honest to God, it called for probably 8 to 12 different kinds of flour. None of which are actual flour and wheat flour. And, you can only buy those bags at like Whole
Specialty
Foods and
Sure,
stuff.
sure.
And it's the Bob Mills brand, and they're not cheap. I mean,
No.
they're $10+ a bag, and
All of a sudden you're at $100
God.
pie.
$100
Wow.
pie. So I scratched that real quick, and I
Yeah.
went with one with only 3 different kinds of flour.
She bought the crust.
I definitely,
Two for $1.
I considered it.
Well, look, can't you buy a
I'm
pre-done
saying,
gluten-
why not?
Because they do have gluten-free
Yeah, they do.
frozen
Pre-made crust,
crust.
yeah. Sure.
But
Sure.
I really, honest to God, I love to bake. And big thank you to Kelly. She got me I've been wanting a KitchenAid mixer. We just don't have the counter space for one of those big stand mixers. So she got me a hand mixer with dough hooks and a whisk and a
nice.
blender thing. And
that's
so
nice.
she gave it to me as an early present when I said, I'm going to make pie crust.
Do you know what the best part of early presents are? People usually forget that they gave that to you, so then you get more.
More.
Oh.
Yeah. Or they feel like guilty because then it gets to be Christmas and you don't
And
have
he's-
someone in the
yeah.
tree. And unless you're like really frugal and really smart,
No, neither
right?
of us
I'm
are.
just saying, like you would keep the bucks that the whatever
Oh,
that
and
came in,
wrap
and then
that
you wrap
shit
it, and
up.
you're like, remember?
I
Yeah,
would be
fuck off.
so
That's,
pissed.
that's where I just get mad. I'm like, what? That's empty.
I like.
I got this a month ago.
So
Damn
far,
it.
that's my favorite.
That's last year's
Yeah.
Christmas present.
Remember that?
Early
Fuck
Christmas.
off.
It's not, it's
That was my
not
Thanksgiving
early,
present,
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah.
Whore.
I
and
like
it certainly
that.
is not early Christmas. It's just your November gift.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
thank
It's what you
you.
got for living through November.
That's a bunch of
It
happy
is.
horse shit. Wrap that up
Yeah.
and put it under the tree.
No, I've never gotten that. Thank goodness.
No.
Kelly
Yeah.
is actually, and she is a
I've never-
very good gift giver.
But good frugal.
She's very considerate. We've been, and she online shops only, so we've already gotten
Nice.
a gajillion boxes in the mail for both me and for Palmer. So she always is she's a generous
Tomo
Santa.
is there in the chat room.
Tomo.
Hi, Tomo.
Hi, Tomo.
Hey,
I
mates,
need to
he
log
says.
Hey,
in
mates.
His native tongue.
No,
He's from Seattle.
His native
Yeah,
tongue
I was
is
just saying.
Oh.
He's
He's
from
expat.
Washington, so I appreciate that that's now his native tongue.
Well,
Hey,
And
you pick it up.
Oh, exactly. Please.
Yeah.
You do.
Halfway
I mean-
through an episode of Designing Women, I have a southern accent. I can't even imagine
I was
living
gonna
in
say,
New Zealand.
Just get me on a plane with a bunch of Minnesotans flying back to Minnesota,
Yeah.
and I'm all for Christ on the cross. Now it's the holidays.
I am
God
doing
damn.
the same thing. I go to
So
Illinois. I
great.
haven't lived there in so
Yeah.
long, and I go there for a week to visit family, and I come back with the long mams and the
Ma'am, oh, ma'am, thanks.
Oh, ma'am.
People, it's
pretty.
but I have to
Crazy.
understand. I have to understand because when I go back to Missouri or anywhere in the Midwest like that, I will come back with
Sure.
a slight drawl.
Little twang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you hear it. You hear it. And now is,
What about
is
weight?
northern
Yeah, come back with more
Missouri-
weight too.
I call that the Niagara Falls curse.
Unintentional
Pots on
overeating.
pista. Pasta.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Is there like a buffalo?
Well, wait.
Is there a
Yeah.
buffalo like drawl?
It's a really harsh A's. Like my name, the way my family says my name is Ale. Like
Ale.
it's not beer, it's ale.
Okay.
So
Ale.
everything is a really hard A.
Ale.
So he's ale.
So when I come out, everybody says my name like ow out here. Like that's what it sounds like to me. Is like you're saying ow
Oh, okay.
no,
because the A is so flat.
Ow.
Yeah,
Ah.
so it sounds like
I don't think I say it that
Ow.
way.
almost
it's
everybody
ale.
does. Because the minute someone says my name like Ale,
Alfred.
then I'm like, oh, where are you from?
Sure. You can. You can pick
Rochester,
up on it right
Buffalo.
away.
Like,
Yeah.
where
That's
are you
true.
from that you pronounce my name right?
Sure.
A little shout out. Hi, Joe DeGanzik is in the chat room. Said
Hi,
video.
Joe.
Video looks great. Thank
Hi,
you,
Joe.
Joe. Been doing
Hey,
a
thanks,
little.
Joe. Do I need to go to the right or left, Joe?
Doing a little.
'Cause I
well,
don't know.
At this point, it's not enough because you're fighting for space with Erin when
fighting
she
for
goes.
anything.
No, I mean when she can. Whatever.
I'm going to be the one in outside the camera shot. I'm
So
okay.
someday, either after the show or when you like on a day when you stop by when we're not doing the show, which would be random and you would be here early, I could actually trim up the camera shot and make it right.
I was going to be here early, by the way.
What
Aaron
happened?
drove me.
What happened?
Not my fault.
No.
Did
Okay.
you have potatoes with you?
Yep.
Yes.
You better.
I made it. No, I
'Cause
made like I, had
made a
all of
Thanksgiving
that.
dinner in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
are
you
so
did.
good.
You really-
because I was like, okay, so I have all of that was done, and I had everything ready, and she said at 20 to 5 she was on her way, like she's leaving school or whatever.
Traffic is so bad then.
yeah,
though.
Really
then it was
bad today.
5:30, and I'm like, now I'm
Wait,
a little
20
worried.
to 5.
20
she's
to 5.
But she's way out in BFE, isn't she?
She's like Elliot and
That's
and
BFE.
rural.
That's BFE.
Well, to a point.
Yeah.
But she should have been there by 5. Like it's about 20, 25 minutes. So, and nothing, and then nothing, and nothing. And I thought, and I had everything together by the door. Swear to God, handed Jesus. Nope.
Give a hand job to Jesus.
Kept. Leave. It's not tonight.
Leave the,
Oh,
leave the big
Anyway,
man out of it.
so yeah,
Can't break a 10?
I'm waiting 5:30. I'm like, are you okay? Like, I'm not trying to rush you.
Quit texting me while I'm driving.
Yeah, right. So anyway, she forgot that she was supposed to come and get me.
Oh.
She thought I was just going over to her
So
house.
she's sitting at her house
which-
going, "Where are you?"
Right. So then she came and got me quick. And
Communication is so paramount in a
Key.
relationship.
But traffic today was
really bad,
Was an
she said.
evil.
It's
cunt.
bad always. I was yesterday at the Hobby Lobby, which by the way is
On
a Christian
on
store.
purpose?
Now
It's
I will
not-
say
it's a Mormon
some
store.
people hate it.
It's Mormon.
Well,
fully,
is it Mormon?
fully.
Is it?
1,000,000%.
Okay. Well, the Democrats
isn't even
always
possible.
the Democrats always tell me I should hate it, but if you actually look on their because Hobby Lobby and they hate
Chick-fil-A.
you know like they right, and but I actually have looked on their website and they're pretty welcoming. I don't know. It's a fucking craft store, so get off my ass, Democrats. Like I want to fucking shop there.
I don't care where you shop.
So
It's another boycott that will never affect
I'm sorry. I love.
Exactly, me too.
I go to Michael's. I don't give a shit.
I also go to Michael's
Yeah.
and Joann's. I've got like the apps for all 3 stores. It's beside the point. When I'm there, I feel like it's supposed to be a really wholesome and welcoming place. And I go in there the other day, and then I'm walking out, and some crazy grandma with a handicap license plate almost runs my ass over. I've got Palmer in my arms.
She can't
a
reach the
bag.
brake. That's the problem.
No, she flipped me off.
Oh!
Yes, she flipped me off.
Did you flip her back?
I went.
Katie
I
June
looked
got
at her.
run over by a flipping off grandma.
I was
to get to Hobby Lobby
floored.
Thanksgiving
I'm like
Eve.
walking out, and there was another car. It was kind of like, the parking lot was crowded because it's Thanksgiving and all the crafting ladies are out,
All the crafting.
That's where I would be.
right?
Crappy bitches.
So anyway, there was like another car that I was trying to avoid, and I kind of let this one car go. But then, it's kind of like merging traffic. Like you let one car go and then one person, right? It's like, take your fucking turn. So I go, Palmer is slipping out of my arm. I've got 3 bags. I'm like doing the whole thing. And this lady comes up on me. I don't even know. She flips me off and speeds around me, almost hits somebody else. And as I what? Turn around, she's got the big handicap sticker on her plate, and I'm like, that fucking crazy
I'm going to be
bitch.
very honest with you. Sometimes that doesn't mean physically handicapped.
Yeah, exactly.
These are true stories because, honest to God, in my line of work,
Yeah.
and just day by day, I when I would see those, it would piss me off because my dad was
Handicapped,
paralyzed from the
right.
waist down, and so we always needed something like that and never had it back in the day. And so, anyway, when I'm like 19, 20, 21 right in there, and all of a sudden I would see these handicap stickers, and people would pull up, and I'd be like, in my head, thank God. But I'd be like, what are you, mentally handicapped? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, that was going through my head.
Did they yell his favorite word at you?
And anyway, so when I
Fucktard.
started working in
That
the
is
field,
my
Yeah.
favorite.
all of a sudden I was like, oh.
Oh, it's like an actual thing.
Oh,
you
it
can get
is.
those.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And my favorite
Correct.
thing on the subways in New
it's-
York is that there's a big sign.
This lady
and-
could have been, because she was old. She was like a grandma. I thought she should be nice. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'll
no.
go on.
But there's a sign in the cars that says, "Please give up your seat to the handicapped." And remember, handicaps aren't always visible. So I was so drunk the one night, I'm like, I dare you to fucking ask me what my handicap was. Sat right in the chair. I challenge you, pushy
dare you.
fuckers. Because if you
I
ask me, I'll
dare
get up.
you.
But until then,
If I'm on a subway, all that it's nasty and it's dirty and people stink, I am going to be doing one of these. So I'm going to kind of look like I'm on the autism
so you can take
spectrum.
the seat.
Oh,
have a
yeah,
seat.
nobody's gonna
Someone
question
will
it.
I like to
offer
do this
you.
as spectrum.
Someone gets up and they're like, have a seat, ma'am.
Right
here.
please, right
that's
there.
my
Sweetheart.
hand signal, my
Yeah,
subtle
but I'm
hand
like-
signal for somebody's on the spectrum. Like, ooh,
And I'm rocking. Yeah. Oh yeah.
very subtle. Very subtle.
Definitely 10. Definitely 10.
Exactly.
Not an excellent driver.
Need more matches. Need more matches.
No math.
Well,
Please.
and I have to tell you guys just very quickly about what happened to me today
Oh.
is I went to my house and
Good.
Oh, I saw the pictures.
so I left my house normal this morning, and actually I went to
You left your house normal?
like normal,
Wow.
like my house, everything was normal.
Show up
outside.
here someday like that. See how that works out for us.
and I went to the HRC press conference this morning with the city of Phoenix and the mayor, because Phoenix was one of, I believe, 22 maybe cities to receive a 100% score on the Municipality Equality Index, which is really
3
cool
times
for
fast.
Arizona. Right.
times.
Municipality Equality Index, Municipality Equality Index, Municipality Equality Index.
Wow.
Boom.
I'm pretty impressed.
I'm
with
on.
you.
Yeah.
I'm a board of directors, so it's kind of important.
It's an-
I'm gonna go stir things.
It's an MEI.
It's the MEI. So, and I you may have seen what it said on what that was on Facebook or on social media, but essentially it's a score that HRC gives out. There's a corporate equality index, a healthcare equality index, and they started this municipality.
Okay.
And it is all to do with how a city government handles equality and how do we reach out to our LGBT citizens, and and it really looks at policies that are in place. It looks at their non-discrimination policies and the marriage and the insurance and all those different things.
And it's not just for LGBT, it's for all diversity, like all different, like I'm assuming Latinos and disabled and
it
all of
probably
that?
I don't know. That's actually a really good question. I want to say that it might be, but it is put out by the HRC. So
Okay.
HRC is specifically
True.
an LGBT advocacy organization, but it
Gotcha.
could be. But I know that it specifically has to do with that. It might encompass more.
Okay.
So it's been a long time, since Phoenix has had a good score. And so it was really exciting that, again, one of 25 cities in the country that got 100%. So I went to that this morning. Oh, by the way, Scottsdale, it has about I want to say like a 60%. And Mesa, the other city that they scored, has like a 4%.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, not doing so hot. Uh-huh. Mesa's not doing so
That's
hot.
a spectrum for you.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yay, Mesa.
Yeah.
So anyway, very, very great for Phoenix. So I go, I leave, I come back.
Unintentional.
Unintentional dig.
I come back and I go to pull into my driveway, and I pull up to my door and I notice I have a carport. There are bees, honeybees,
Saw this
big
today.
bees, all over, but right by my door. Like and I kind of see a couple at first, then I'm like, wait, and then I start to kind of look around, and I'm going,
There's a swarm
holy
of them.
shit, there's bees everywhere. And they were trying to climb under the overhang in my
eave.
carport.
The eave.
Yeah, the eave, thank you. And they're trying to get in, and fortunately, the cracks weren't big enough, because I'm sitting there watching them, and I see that they can't get in, but they're everywhere. So I pull out, have to do an errand for my neighbor really quickly, and think, maybe that was just a weird fluke. I come back home, there's like more of them. And I'm going, shit. So I call Terminex. I end up going to do another quick appointment. Palmer and I ate lunch in the car. I come back home and they're just everywhere. So Terminex doesn't cover bees. I have to call a beekeeper.
Oh, that's right.
Meanwhile,
when I read that today,
I know
thought that,
they don't
and then
do
I'm like,
bees.
no, they maybe
And
do.
I ran to Ace Hardware because I thought perhaps I can find some kind of a spray. Well, bees are endangered, so they don't carry extermination sprays for bees.
Would you like me to tell you what you can use?
I would.
Okay, because I learned this because I have dealt with them here multiple times.
Yeah.
Because they actually were in the chimney of my fireplace, because there was a crack within the cinder block. They were in the chimney.
Yeah.
They actually got into the eave of the house in the southwest corner of my house, and they had to come in and kill them and then just seal it up. So
Yeah.
for all I know, there could be honey hanging in my rooftop over here. Actually, bees, if you take a mixture of like any dishwashing soap,
Okay.
put it in water,
Yeah.
and then you spray them, like you get a good sprayer that you can saturate them with.
Yeah.
They breathe through their body. So if you can coat them with that, it suffocates them and they die.
Oh,
Little tip from your Uncle Clayton right there.
thank
on
you for that.
Little Wild Kingdom.
Well, and I
doesn't
could've-
help you now.
Well,
but
but I that would have been helpful, but also that I couldn't get in the house because our front door has a screen door that's locked from the inside with a chain and the whole thing. So I couldn't get in the front door. Mm-hmm. We just had that weird break-in, so we've padlocked the side gate, which the key in the house. So the only door that we use to get in and out is this side door that is swarmed with bees.
Gotcha.
So I get out of the car. Palmer's hysterically crying, and she literally is saying, I want to go inside. I want a nap. And this poor girl just wants to take a nap. At this point, it's way past her nap time.
you've been waiting 2 years for her to say this.
Honest to God. And I'm just like, fucking bees. So I go up there. I'm like, all right, Katie, I get out of the car, and I'm literally talking to myself, and I go, because the guy's like, I can't be there for an hour. And I'm like, and Kelly's gone on work. I'm like, I guess I'm going to sit in my fucking car for an hour. And so I look at myself in the mirror, and I was literally like, man up, Katie, don't be a fucking pussy. And I'm like, I can handle this. I'm literally saying this out loud. So I get out of the car, and I'm like, come on, do it for your daughter. Come on. And I can't do it. I'm like such a wuss. I cannot run through the bees because I'm also scared that if I open the door and I'm able to get through them, then they're going to get in my house. And I have dogs, and God only knows then where they go in the house.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with being afraid of these bees.
Like a
There's
swarm
absolutely
of
nothing.
bees.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
If my neighbors could have seen me, because I was like ducking in, and then I would duck, and then one would like dive bomb me from the side, and I was
hell, I would
running
have
away.
liked to have seen you.
So then I thought, I finally assessed the house in like a more open-minded manner, and I was able to take a patio chair, hop over the side of the fence that's connected to my neighbor's house, and kind of shimmy over and go in through the back door.
So now we're learning how to break into Katie's house.
I know.
If only we could give out her address.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, I'm heavily
Glendale,
alarmed.
Arizona.
Yes, exactly. So I get in the house. Anyway, the beekeeper finally got there, and he walks in. Oh, and then Kelly comes through the front door. Now that I'm in, says she's like, oh, I heard a buzzing when I was getting ready. There were like 2 or 3 dead bees in one of the light canisters in our master bedroom. And I'm like, oh my God. Then we had another light on. We heard a bee in another light canister in the kitchen. And I'm like, they're getting in. They're everywhere. The guy comes
They're
in.
after your gluten.
Honest to God.
Yeah, Jesus.
I know. They know I'm
Get
getting
off
rid of
my
it.
gluten.
So the guy comes in, he says immediately, he walks right up, and and of course the fucking beekeeper. Now, granted, he does this for a living. He walks directly into the swarm of bees, like they're flying all over his head, and I'm
Fucking
standing way
show
back.
off.
I know, and I'm like, oh, I feel really like a big wuss. But he says that it's a split colony. He's like, I know. He knew exactly what it was. He goes, oh, these are scout bees. It's a colony somewhere in your neighborhood, and he's like, I've been out here a lot. Has gotten too big. And so the queen has directed the scout bees to go out and scout a new location for a new hive. And so they were trying to see if this was a good place. And I'm like, that is insane. And he was showing us exactly how they got in. He goes, there's no swarm. I know exactly what kind of bees these are. He put he didn't spray them with anything that would kill them, but he put something on there that was going to deter them from coming into the house.
Little bait that looks like cheese.
Something. I don't even know. He put something up on the eave.
They sense it and they just go the hell away. Yeah.
So they're already gone. But I think
I think that what they smell, if I'm not mistaken, it's something like it, because if the queen never dies, they disperse and they're gone.
Yeah.
They're done. So I think it's a scent of some death that I think something that's, I may be wrong.
I think that is what it is. That it's the hormone excreted when the queen dies, and they know they have to go find another hive.
Right. I think
And
that
so
it was crazy, but
Yeah.
it was really neat that the guy, and then kudos to Dan Dykes, who on my Facebook page just a little while ago said, oh, the hive split. There were scouts who were
Right.
out looking for a new place, and I'm like, you're a genius. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it was.
Now, I can also tell you, I'll show you a little bit later. I actually took pictures the day that
I
that entire
wanna
shop.
see.
No,
Yeah.
my entire shop was full. The windows on the west, or excuse me, the east side of my shop were solid bees, and I knew they didn't give a shit about me because they're trying to figure out how to get out,
Right.
Because they couldn't get out of there, so they're all in the windows because
Yeah.
they got in through some crack from outside, but they couldn't figure out how to get out.
Yeah.
So I literally am standing right there, feet from them, taking pictures, and it was just kind of cool to be there. But
Yeah.
I knew that they didn't give a shit about me. I
Yeah.
wasn't. There was no food. There was nothing else. So
Yeah, they probably didn't care about me either, but I cared a lot about them.
you want to know, and you have a child, so by all means,
Yeah,
I mean,
I was freaked.
Yeah, and that's
Ru-
not the way to find out if your child has an allergy.
Yeah, no,
Is it
no.
a swarm?
I want a nap. Do you want to die?
How about death?
How do you feel about this, darling?
Anyway, so you guys, that was my crazy story for the day. I'm really excited to have kind of tomorrow off. I'm going to see the Hunger Games. I'm having Thanksgiving at my mom's. I love this week.
Okay.
Very
Minus
fun.
the bees.
Well, now that Katie June has taken up most of the first hour, you'll not hear again from Katie until thoughtful vulgarity.
He's turning off my microphone.
So I haven't missed much.
No.
Okay.
We haven't gotten past her.
Oh,
Just the bees.
cheers.
Lots of
got
bees.
it. By the way, that voice you're hearing in that other microphone, you can wave at that camera up there if you would. Yes, there you go. That's Erin Henderson, who is Marnie's other half and the one who decided
Better.
she needed to get some coffee, so she went and got some coffee.
Yeah, that girl.
Yeah, but you said Dutch Brothers, but you didn't mention where it was, and my phone's not working these days very well, so
There you
I
are.
Starbucks it
resorted
was.
to the
Yeah.
red cup.
I always
Yes.
Dutch Brothers. Mm-mm.
Gotcha. Marnie,
Hi.
we're up to you, girl.
How are you?
Well, I am well.
Good.
Yeah, you?
Good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I finally got my shot yesterday.
Oh,
That was a bonus.
So next week's show is going to be the
It
better
was-
show.
it
This
was-
week,
No. It was a week late.
No, it's
so
good.
Last
It's
week,
good.
Last week was actually pretty good because I was supposed to get it that morning.
oh.
Yeah, it was almost homicidal.
Why do they delay that? What's up with that?
It's not that they delay it. For me, they usually give it to me 2 weeks ahead of time. They usually give it to me 14 days ahead. It's a Depo-Provera shot
Yeah.
for those listening and going, what the fuck?
It's an attitude adjustment,
We-
ladies
It
and
is
gentlemen.
an
That's what that
attitude
is.
We
adjustment.
medicate her
She
monthly.
gets, she
Yes.
gets a little cunty when she doesn't have her shot.
I really do.
Little
There's
bit.
no two ways.
There you
Never
go.
noticed.
No, most people haven't. My
Sure.
bosses have it written on their calendar, like when I'm supposed to get my shot. And so there's a new cunt at Planned Parenthood that decided, nope, only 7 days ahead. Oh. And so was going to make it for this coming Friday. It's actually been over a week, but anyway, the 29th. She was like, you can't get it till the 29th. Needless to say,
You're precious.
I got it yesterday.
Yeah.
And because we kind
Is she
of
still alive?
And the
I think
hostage
she
has been
saw-
released.
Okay,
Yeah,
so there we
exactly.
go.
Well, and I really did tame down because I'm standing in a Planned Parenthood and my eyes are like flared, like I'm gonna kill you. And the woman was,
And they've
I
heard that
think-
before.
right? And I was like, I've been here long enough that maybe they called the police. So
This-
tame down,
yeah.
tame down.
That
We're
might
good.
be going
I
to
don't-
jail.
No,
There's one woman in the
don't
back
need that.
going, just give it to her, and she'll leave.
Just give the fucking shot.
Daughter needs your
I know.
medicine.
But thank goodness.
Give my daughter. Yes,
Thank
that's
goodness for
exactly
Planned
how I was.
Parenthoods.
Yes, I
God
agree
bless them.
completely. That's why I did not want to end up on the news because I'm for them.
Yeah.
You know, I
It's a
support
shooting,
you.
but
Just
please
give
read
me
my
that.
manifesto. It's for completely
No,
different
It's a
reasons than
Deborah
you
Barbera
imagine.
shot.
Forgive my ignorance on this because
Yeah.
I haven't got to the age of menopause where I
Yeah.
need it or whatever the hell you're in. I don't know what that is. So why do you have to get it there? Why can you get it? Can you not get it somewhere else?
I can, but it's easier and cheaper because
Okay.
I don't have to pay like a
Well, or make a doctor's
or
appointment.
make a doctor's
Oh, okay, got
appointment
it.
or
All right,
anything
all right.
else. So
They
plus,
specialize in the lady business.
yes.
I understand.
do.
And I've been right now. This probably is going into. That's why I had to think about it a second. It's probably going into menopause with the reason of being. But they've said I'm menopausal since I'm 23.
God, how long have you been
because
menopausal?
Of that shot. Because of that shot,
I'm recently menopausal.
I had.
Had a baby.
Yeah.
I almost did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always
So
just
I
say-
mean, there were different things, but
Awake
it was,
all night, asleep in traffic. Menopause, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome.
Oh, I went
Yeah.
to enter that early.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm the opposite. I sleep 24 hours a day. So what does that make me?
Just lazy.
No.
Not
Jason,
going to be Clayton.
Jason
Not
Carlton.
going to be Clayton's roommate.
Never going to be my roommate. That's true. Plus, you got dogs, and I can't handle dogs in this house with
There's
my
that.
cats.
You know, I love the last house sitter. You don't have a dog, do you? Good. I have a job to offer you.
Then okay. So, but yeah, so I got that, and
Yeah.
that was very good.
Yeah.
And I'm just cleaning, getting ready for
Your
Friday.
Friday.
For the extravaganza. I'm very
Oh, and
excited about that.
I'm coming and I'm bringing the Wilk.
Oh, I love it. Good. I was not able to, because I don't know how, to extend that to more people. That I put a PS
gonna
at
fix
the
it
end of
tonight.
the thing, and he's one of the people I wanted to be able to send it to. So I'm very happy about that.
Are you all not friends on Facebook? You
Yeah,
and Will?
we
yeah,
are,
yeah.
but it would only let me put 20 people.
Oh, don't know.
And I thought, what the hell? So anyway.
Yes, so Doug and I will be
Good
I
there.
see.
Oh, I'm very happy about that. Good.
And like I mentioned to you, I'm working two different shows that day.
I just wanted you to know.
Well, I think, and I knew
I would
you
love
were
to have
doing
you
it. I
there.
knew it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Marnie and
as
her
well.
mom
Yeah,
always does
absolutely.
a Thanksgiving Day after. In essence, it's the Black Friday party at your
Yeah,
house.
it is, really.
For people
Yeah.
to come over and eat the leftovers and just to
No,
hang out.
it's not
and-
the leftovers.
Oh no, you
It's
do
a
cook.
full
I
new
forgot
meal.
you
This
do.
is Thanksgiving. This
I
is
love
our
a new meal.
Thanksgiving. So that because years ago people were going, they wanted to come to our house, and they were going to other people. They had to go to their own families
And suffer through that.
and suffer through that, and then they would try to come over to our house and eat, and be like, "God, this is so good, and we want to keep doing this, but we're really full."
Well, and we're
So-
rushed on the day.
And we're rushed, exactly. So we just said, "Well, fuck it,
We'll do it Friday.
let's do it on Friday and
there-
spend
So
the whole
fun.
day." And yeah,
And I traditionally have done my Thanksgiving would have been yesterday,
right.
but I was trying to get the coming up week off because I was going to go to LA. So I was
I didn't
supposed to work
notice that.
Sunday, Monday.
Okay.
I was going to work Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and then leave on Thursday. So it was like going to fuck up my whole Monday night, my traditional Thanksgiving thing, and then it just all went wrong. Everything about it's gone wrong. That the only shift available was the Thanksgiving night, and
Okay.
I was like, well, I should put PTO, but it's also time and a half. So what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's been so slow. They've been canceling everybody, so I haven't worked this week.
Oh,
So that's gonna be my
okay.
only shift for 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Okay. Well,
That's important.
So I'm gonna
Very-
take it.
Get
Well,
that,
I'm getting
get that
paid.
one in.
yeah,
It's not,
absolutely.
I'm getting paid. I'm just not doing anything for it.
Oh, well, hey.
Good.
Yeah,
Hey,
sign me up.
happy
Yeah.
holidays.
You are a
Yeah.
kept woman. All
I
this
like
sounds like.
that.
So
Okay,
that-
exactly.
like that.
We have found out what
Yeah.
extreme part-time feels like.
Last year that was very fun at your house. That was really nice. So, but yeah, so just did that and had a lovely Saturday, a little long, but a lovely Saturday with faces.
If these were-
at minimum, with the beautiful faces sitting around this table as a.
Oh, for your very
As
happy
a
birthday dinner.
surprise,
Yes, right.
yes.
That was fun.
It was very nice to see the faces.
Right.
I have gotten received an email from the owner.
Oh, you did?
I brought it to show Erin. I mean, you can all see it. It was very brief. She wants me to contact her, and so
Yeah, I mean, it's all
And things
it's
happen.
all perception. Like
Things happen.
Katie and I and Doug had 2 bottles of wine and we're sitting around chatting and really didn't notice that none of you were eating.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the, yeah. So we were
but-
like,
but-
what's going on? Everything was
Yeah.
so lovely. We just kind of were
and
in
you
our
guys
own
had
world.
the 2 bottles of wine and the drinks that I ordered. I had 3, and I don't think
None
that
of them were the same color.
None of them were the same
No,
color,
but it was all the
None of
same
them were
drink.
the same.
She
yeah.
ordered the same thing, got 3 different items. I don't know what the hell.
and,
they-
and none of them tasted like what I ordered, so it's kind of weird. And Clayton, he just is still waiting for water. you
yeah,
know.
I think I'm still
So-
waiting
And
for
salad.
things. Yeah.
And
I never
salad.
got my
Right.
salad.
Oh, yeah, you did not.
But and I'm not trying to because I don't want to knock the place, and I don't want to knock anybody. The shit happens. But I will discuss that with the owner.
Yeah, and honestly-
to be able
But
to make
it's so
to be
nice.
able to make. It
But you know what
different.
really is fantastic about it? When the food did arrive
was
on whatever
delicious.
plane it was being
Yeah, it
flown
was
in
great.
on, phenomenal. The food is
good.
phenomenal. They
Yeah.
really have
I've
excellent-
literally-
excellent
That's why I
food.
wanted to take mine home.
Right, well, but they inadvertently
Oh,
got
look at
yours.
that.
It went in the trash
Yeah,
can.
there's that. But no, the food is phenomenal. Like I went to
more,
dinner with
even
Mom
more.
there a few weeks ago. I had told you, and it was wonderful. Everything was great. She enjoyed her wine. She found something that she liked, and they even have we'll later talk about this restaurant. It's a local, and
It's
I
I know,
wonderful.
we
not-
got to get off the local stuff.
Yeah.
We're like 34
Yeah.
minutes
No.
in and we haven't talked
No.
about anything but ourselves.
we got other things. But anyway, we made
was
it through it.
lovely.
You got older. Well,
Yeah.
you're getting
Oh,
older.
you're getting
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Getting, yeah.
Yeah.
Getting there.
Finally
I'm
catching
still
up
a
to,
prime
to me.
number.
Yeah.
For another couple hours.
Yeah.
So then
Oh,
you're
yeah.
divisible by 11
Exactly.
and 2 and 4.
Next in our line of
excited.
people is you, Aaron. What are you up to?
Quick.
Same stuff as Marnie. I would like to say that Katie June's nails look fantastic.
I noticed that too.
They look fantastic.
Yeah,
What'd
they
you do?
look Very pretty.
Gels. It's my new
Oh,
thing.
gotcha.
Oh.
They look so
Are they
good.
gluten-free?
Yeah,
Thank you.
fantastic.
Is that on the
I believe
grapefruit
so.
diet?
It is.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Cabbage soup.
I
Really.
got my
Yeah.
nails done today too, but they're not shiny because I'm a
No.
boy.
I did
Because
mine
you're
a couple days ago.
boy.
I
I
love
chewed
it.
the shit out of mine just this afternoon.
Mani Petty. I enjoy it.
I love it. Yeah.
I have been hooked on that for close to 15 years now.
Oh, everyone, every man, every woman, everyone should get mani pedis.
Yeah, you totally
Oh,
should.
dear
a-
God, I don't want to look at your dirty fucking nails.
No,
Yes.
yeah, they're lovely. They
Well,
feel
and
good.
it's just so wonderful when they clean it. It's all cleaned out and
And
done.
I
and-
worked with these straight guys that were like, "Oh, that's so gay." I'm like, I don't care if it's gay or not. No one's sucking your dick
No.
unless you have clean hands and clean feet. Get yourself to a
if you can sell
pedicure.
any straight man on the fact that girls like that, they'll do it every goddamn
Oh
day.
yeah, I see them
Yeah.
in there all the time.
Sure. There's
Yeah.
that. All right.
And I have a colleague who has a favor to ask. She asked me today for a whole bunch of witty, like, what would you rathers for her to do for Thanksgiving dinner? And I thought, I don't fucking know. I don't have time for that shit. So if anyone in the chat room has ideas.
I'm so glad you're a teacher.
I was thinking about that on the way here. Like, what if one of my students ever happened to stumble upon
Yeah,
this?
right?
They would, yeah, no.
Harrison's doing a pedicure right now, but Harrison, is it self-inflicted? Because that ruins the fun.
It does.
It's better if you have somebody else doing it, and it's even
lot-
better if it's a shirtless hot guy. That'd even be more
Yeah,
better.
where did those happen?
I don't know, but I haven't found that.
We
I
should
haven't
open
found
that
that.
business.
Yeah, that.
Oh.
Yes, open that business.
Yes, you got, Al. You talk. I've got to go talk to Tammy Bobst out in our. I've got to give her a
Hi,
terminal.
TJ Bobst.
Stand by.
Hi, Tammy. We recently became friends without ever having met.
Oh, I can tell you that too. That one of my
Tammy's never
favorite
met Aaron
parts.
either.
No, one of my favorite parts Saturday night, and Clayton just walked out of the room, was meeting his friend Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel Ray, who you met
Bootsy.
a
Right,
couple
right,
nights
yes.
before, and who I just fell a little bit in love with.
Yeah.
So that was pleasant too.
I really, yeah, I had a
He's
I had
very
a fun
nice.
time. I'm so thankful for the invitation, and it was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
thank
really
you for
very
coming.
nice for you
And
guys
he's
to
a
be there.
listener.
God, it meant the world
Is
to me,
he?
so that was nice.
Well,
Bootsy.
Daniel,
Yeah.
I'm a little in love with
Because
you.
that's how he knew me was from this. Because
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
love
I've
it.
never seen you before in my life.
Right.
And he's like, well, I know a lot about you. I'm like,
Probably more than
basement in
you
New
would have
York.
normally shared.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Al, what about
Mr.
your
Perkins.
week?
well, actually, nothing because I called in sick on Saturday, which I had given them all
Which,
kinds
by the
of.
way, and thank you.
I had given
didn't
them all
realize
kinds
that.
of notice that I was not. Well, because I thought we had agreed on Wednesday, so I took Wednesday off.
So sorry.
Oh God.
And then fucking Clayton, because he's not here to hear it, says that Saturday works for him, but then we find out, but he can't go. But he thinks Saturdays are more festive. I'm like, God damn it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a cluster.
Yeah, it was a little
Thank
bit of a
you.
cluster, but it all came together, and I had told them, and I had just gotten my perfect attendance award,
I
which is
know.
my favorite part.
I know that's what you're.
That irony right there.
Oh, it
yeah.
was hysterical.
That's
when the
great.
manager that's handing it to me was the one that I told, like,
Oh.
I'm calling in. I just wanted to give them enough notice. Like,
Sure.
I'm picking my social life over this place, and I have tons of PTO.
I can't believe you had the perfect attendance, and that's for a year.
6 months.
Okay,
Still.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But still, that's. I mean, I don't think I've ever done anything for 6 months without missing a day.
Yeah.
ever.
So then,
Like I've missed parenting for a day at least in the last 6 months.
so I knew the census was kind of short, and I knew that my turn was coming up because I don't request off very often. I don't put myself down as like, if you're over, you can cancel me. I don't do that very often, just 'cause I think it's gonna jinx me.
Right.
So Sunday, my number just came up naturally, and they're like, not only are we like so overstaffed, but you're so high up in the list that you just have to be outright canceled, like no on call. And I'm like, oh, that's a fucking dream. You're just gonna pay me to not show up, and I don't have to sit at home by the phone for 12 hours.
Sign me up.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
bring it on, bitches.
Good.
So then Monday, I went to bed kind of early, sleepy time. Monday, did some stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'm tired again. And
Menopause.
then at 4:30, well, no, because I
You weren't
just
driving.
I went to day schedule for the weekend, And I stayed on it, and then Sunday, since they didn't put me on call, I just went to bed. Like when I got tired at midnight, I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to bed." So then, but then again, so I woke up at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I got to stay up for 22 hours. I'm like, "Oh, that's going to be grim." So they're like, "We're still overstaffed. Do you want to just keep this PTO thing going for like another shift?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" I'm like, "Get me canceled outright." So they did again. So again, I didn't have to work or stay up.
Nice. So you're very well rested.
Yeah, so it was just kind of
Nice.
fun. But I've watched so much TV because as soon as they said I don't have to work, I wasn't like, "Oh, I should go find friends and go be sociable." I was like, "Oh no, I saw enough people the other night. That'll last me for like 2 weeks."
Plus Thanksgiving, shit, you're covered for a month.
I'm just locking the door.
This is good. Yeah, you don't have to see anyone until Christmas.
I got a couple nights to myself. We're gonna throw on some Melissa
So
McCarthy
nice.
movies and
Nice.
I like
just.
I like that a lot.
Which I've never seen. The one Identity Thief. Is that funny?
I haven't either.
Is it
really
fun?
wanna see
I
Like-
watched it
I wanna
twice
see
in the
it.
last 3 days, and
Did
it
you?
gets funnier
Really?
every
Did I,
time.
when did I see? You weren't with me when I saw
No,
that.
you
I
said
was
you
on
only
a plane.
saw part of it. Was it
I was on a plane.
Peru?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
there's
sure.
no
Yeah,
way that
yeah,
movie would
yeah.
be funny on a plane.
No,
No.
plus
Can't
I was
even
very
imagine.
tired
Because
from
they
the
edit everything has to be edited down to less than PG. Like it
for a
gets,
plane.
and planes only run 75 minutes, so no matter what the length of the movie is, they can only show a 75-minute movie on the plane.
Is that right?
Yeah, so you have
I
not.
didn't realize
if you
that.
think, "Oh, I saw that movie on the plane," no, you need to go see the whole movie.
I'm
And
taking-
there's certain
Well, I
things
think
they
I
will
fell
never.
asleep, too.
There's certain things you will never see on a plane.
But
Like,
it's
there's
good to
certain-
have them.
Snakes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, you will see
motherfuckers.
those. Yeah, just ask Samuel L. There are, but you. I'm taking 2 plane trips, one in December, one in January, both to the East Coast. So it's like the best time to take a movie, that you
Yeah.
want to watch on the iPad. They're debating right now. The FAA is
Yeah.
debating allowing cell phones.
Yeah,
And
well, being
people
on
will-
And
airplane
I say,
mode. Yeah.
fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
fuck
no,
that noise.
I agree.
You
because
can get a hold of me any
Thank
other
you.
fucking time.
thank you.
But if
I
you have
like,
the ability to text and email, you do not need to
Right.
sit and chat.
Yeah.
That's the only quiet sanctuary that there's left.
I
if
don't
there's not a
even want to
kid.
text an email. I want everyone to know that plane time is off limits. It's like the only time that you don't
Yeah.
call me ever.
No,
Because
I'm
you
in the
know there's
air.
going to be someone in the back, like talking like this.
It's
at the top of their
like,
lungs.
but not even for work. Like someone in the back's
Are you
going to
be in the plane?
Oh, it's never for work.
It's gonna be.
It's never
gonna be
for
so.
work.
It's novelty, so people think it's cool. So like, I'm gonna call my best friend and just gab for a little
my
while.
God,
And is
Shut
it
the fuck
is it to call? Because I thought it was just that you didn't have to shut it down
No.
for takeoff and
That's already
landing.
calls.
that's already a
Yeah.
thing. I think.
How the hell are we going to get calls? We're
Phone
too
calls.
up in the
you
air.
always have to take it
All the way off.
all the way
And
off.
now
for
they're
takeoff
saying
and
they
landing.
they're looking into switching to airplane mode for takeoff and landing.
Right.
Is the big thing, but I didn't know how
Oh yeah,
is
no.
that high up? How
they're
do they
talking
get
about
calls?
actually talking on the phone.
Lar-
now.
Yeah.
Like higher cell
where did-
towers.
Well, we're
And you-
getting.
when
we
we
can
came
have
back-
internet now on the.
Yeah, when I came
plane.
back from San Francisco, I was on an internet flight.
And you can, and you can get texts in the middle of the air because I have forgotten. I didn't know how to turn this phone off to like my 3rd plane trip. I didn't know they didn't show you how to turn it off, so I had no idea. So
AL.
I was 3 plane trips in before somebody was like, your phone's on, and I got a text, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yes, it is. Then you're
Wow.
good for knowing. My phone
I
was
knew how
on.
to put it to airplane mode, which I did the 2nd trip. But the 1st trip, I had no idea. I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. So I'm like, I had the Wilma Flintstone until last week. Because I literally got my phone and went on an airplane. And I'm like, oh, I did not do the whole question and answer period.
It was not. I was.
And
I was
he had to show me.
I was
'cause I'm
not
like,
present for
my
that.
plane was on for that entire flight. And I don't know. And he was like, it's this button. I'm like, oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. So
Happens.
but my iPad doesn't have a 3G. So my iPad
Yeah,
was on,
mine
but I
either.
didn't think anybody cared about that.
No.
At least
Right,
I
no, but
decided.
just the wireless.
But the important thing is to put it down and the reason that
Just
I got
hide
this
it.
was when I went to on
Hide
the
it.
shark.
It's this one.
When I went on the shark trip to go swim at the sharks, when they got to the instructions part, the guys said they were like, absolutely no phones, no cameras, nothing in your hands. You will look at me and pay attention for this speech, or you will not get in the water. And there was a kid on his phone, and he walked up to the kid, and he's like, listen to me now. If I tell you to do something, you're going to do it. And this was a kid that was like, this place is so ghetto. And he said to the kid's mom, he's like, this kid's going to live through this trip because it's my responsibility. So when I tell him to do something, he's going to sit down and shut up. And the mom was like, oh, thank God, will you marry me? Like, because clearly this
Someone disciplined my
this
child.
child had never been disciplined. And that's what I think when they're doing the takeoff and landing, it's not because no one gives a shit what you're doing. But if something goes wrong at takeoff, we need your full undivided
Attention.
attention. You can't have
Oh,
something
is
in your
that
hands.
why?
Yes. because
It's not so much that interferes; it's they want to. Yeah.
No, but
I always
also
wondered.
that's you're in kind of low ground. There's a lot of people trying to get signals and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a little bit of that, but mostly during takeoff is the most dangerous 11 minutes of your entire life. We need your full undivided attention, and you need to be able to hear us when we tell you duck, take cover, and run.
Yeah.
Too bad for those fuckers. I'm asleep before the plane's off the ground.
And that's me. I'm
know.
one of
That's
those
him,
people
too.
because I'm
Yeah.
gone.
Did you already catch up on what you
Oh,
did?
yeah.
Yes, Clayton, how
That's
was your
all
week?
well.
For you.
But my
Very
alarm's
busy.
gonna go
Went
off.
to your thing. I'm trying to redo my home office, which is fantastic. I'm moving shit. I'm getting rid of a lovely lighted drafting table. That's gonna go.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
making changes, which I'm thrilled about with all that. Other than that, I don't know. I feel like the weeks just go and go and go and
They do.
Just Thanksgiving. So fun.
Thanksgiving week. We're going into the worst part of the year for me because I just really can't stand the whole. I am so over. I am over Christmas in like August.
Oh my God, I'm
We've
sad
talked
because I'm
about
ready to play
that.
Christmas music in
No,
August.
I know, but we've
Me
talked
too.
about that. We were at
Love
Home
it.
Depot a few years ago, and we walked in, and you and I both went, "Oh hell no!" We were like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, and it was
That
September, October.
early. It was right around, if not just before your birthday, which is
Early,
very
right,
beginning of September,
September.
and it was the whole area.
Yeah, that drives me
was
nuts.
Christmas.
Well, but
And-
the other day I was at Walgreens and
When you bitch about Christmas coming too early, that's the first sign that you turned into the old woman you didn't want to be.
Ooh.
It
Well.
hasn't changed.
But
I've been listening to people bitch about Christmas in September.
But it seems
since
like
I
it's
was
getting
4 years
worse.
old.
I was gonna offer to go
honestly
cook.
don't.
I've been having it's like the new cast bitching about the new cast of Saturday Night Live. Everybody's been doing it for 35 years.
What does that sound?
What
My
is that
ass
sound?
alarming that the turkey's ready.
Well, then go play with the turkey for God's sakes.
What the hell is
My
happening?
God, he set an alarm on his phone.
love
This
it.
is the longest intro we've ever fucking done.
Well,
really
you know,
is.
it's the holidays.
Oh,
It is-
fuck, whatever.
last week you guys went even longer.
Last week.
It just seems. It just
we
seems
were
like
pretty
this
long
one.
probably last week.
Yeah, you
It's
did.
all good.
That's true. Gobble, gobble.
But for Thursday we'll be I'll be going to my mom's for the day, or for her Thanksgiving Day. Do that, and I the only reason I give any shit at all about the holidays is only for her.
Yeah.
It really do, because she loves it. She loves to cook, and I totally love my mom's cooking.
Oh, yeah.
and all of that. Who doesn't love your own mom's cooking? I mean, unless your mom really your mom sucked at cooking.
No.
My mom thought that that making dinner meant going into McDonald's, not drive-through.
Oh, I love it. Oh.
Yeah, well, so
Aaron's
I enjoy
mom.
that part.
Oh,
but
I love my mom.
But really,
Not
other
a
than
cook.
that, I got nothing for you for the rest of it. I get tired of hearing all of it, and it's just annoying to me. So there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
only
but
have
you're gonna put
month
up
and a half.
You have your strand of lights.
I do the
yeah.
least I
know
can
you
possibly
but
do.
that's what I love though, because you'll at least do that, and it looks warm and inviting.
That's the best.
And that's
the only
why.
reason I like it.
Right.
For those of you listening who don't
Yeah.
know me personally, what I do is I string one single strand, and I do this at mom's
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
One single strand of Christmas lights, non-blinking, solid, one color,
Mm-hmm.
around the eve of the house, and they're on a timer. I put them up, I plug them in. They're on a timer. They're on from the day after Thanksgiving to the day of New Year's Day.
That's right.
Done. So, but I don't have to think about it.
Can you make
home.
a timer at my house?
I can get.
We can buy one.
Timers can go anywhere.
No.
Oh yeah.
I would like a timer.
Oh,
Yeah.
timers are.
We started the timers with the Christmas lights. Changes your life.
Oh, and everything that's automated. My porch lights, my interior, everything everything's automated in this house. I love that shit.
Yeah. No, it is pretty brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially,
We can get that.
but
We can get that.
especially, and for a safety concern, which was really my initial thought was, I don't like coming home to a dark house,
Yeah,
and
I'm
I
with
don't
you.
know what my schedule is. I might leave at noon, expecting to be gone for 2
you
hours.
might come home at 3 a.m.
Right, I never know.
Right.
I mean, if a restaurant goes down or I have a problem with some system somewhere, I never know. So I want my house to be illuminated and lovely, and I do the same. Mom's is the same, but it's a safety thing.
Yeah.
For me, I wish that it was law that everybody in the
Yeah.
world had to have a timer on a front porch light just to light up your
You
street.
were talking about
Yeah,
that
I agree.
last week.
Yeah.
when
we
I'm
came to get
king.
the car.
When
Yeah.
I'm king.
When you rule the world.
Yeah, when I rule the world.
I'll vote. You have my vote.
Thanks, Katie. You'll be on the board.
Oh,
I'm a
wait,
good board
I'll vote
member.
for you too.
Actually, we're gonna do it right out of this room. So
I'm a really good board member.
Done.
we could run this right out of this room. Are we
Good, I
ready
like
to take
it.
off with a little? Well, wait. Should we wait for Al to come back?
No, we
Nah.
sure
I'll
should.
go cover cooking. He
you,
can come back in here.
if you would just
Oh,
make
look
sure
at me.
that
I'm
the
like,
potatoes
who
get
cares?
ready.
Whatever. Fuck Al.
Al Schmal.
Al Schmel.
And if you would please put this in the
Like
Fridge.
Marty's doing some sort of a beverage coordination. What are you doing?
And the
She's
other
the
thing
logistics
is
manager tonight.
that,
Oh, I love
you know,
logistics.
I do as well. The
And UPS.
yes.
Oh, Aaron, can you? I love her. This just became our living room. Would you hand me a paper towel
The
behind
way
you,
it's
please?
supposed to be, really.
It really is.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works. I'm
So-
making a mess over here. Thank you, my dear.
It didn't.
Remember,
dawn
you're on camera. Just always remember that. Don't do anything you wouldn't do with other. There you go. Oh, there's Belle. Oh!
There's a camera behind you.
that camera, but it doesn't.
Cameras
Yeah,
everywhere.
there you go.
There you have it.
Oh, it's going to be the best of show. I don't know
best
what you were
of.
doing.
In the fridge, please.
Something in the fridge.
Thank you.
Does she command you around a lot like
No,
that?
I said please.
No, I didn't say you didn't say please.
Oh,
being
you are
polite.
good. It's her birthday still and continuing.
Oh, that's what we're doing. Got it. That's
Being
Al's.
polite.
Yeah, there's that. Okay. By the way, we
Beverage
will
bit.
be eating later because there's an entire fully cooked meal in the kitchen that Al and Katie and you guys whipped up over the course of a few hours of the day. Al did it in 7 minutes in my kitchen.
I'm really surprised. When he said at about 4:00 this afternoon he was going to have turkey, I really, honest to God, thought that he was going to get like sliced lunch meat.
Deli meat or
That's
something.
what I thought.
Well, I
No.
was like, I am that person that if you say something, I remember it.
Yeah. No,
And
I'm glad.
so-
I was making the pie regardless.
Right. No, and
but
I'm
I'm glad that you remembered the whole dinner.
and I just sat there and I was getting ready to make the mashed potatoes, and I thought, well, wouldn't
No.
that be fucking ridiculous?
If you're the only one,
If I just show up with
Just
like
have
a
potatoes
a
and
little,
pie.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't know for sure that you bring a pie. So just a thing of mashed potatoes and a hunk of Velveeta, and we'll just go.
I'd
Like,
be
what the-
happy with that. Who
I
wouldn't
know
be
you
happy with
would.
that?
Why wouldn't
Unless
you?
if there were peas, that'd even make it better
Oh,
for me.
I do love
No,
peas.
what's funny is Al got
me
here.
too.
Al got here, and I was changing clothes, and I came into the kitchen. I'm like, "Did you find everything? Did you get everything?" And he goes, "You know what? From now on, anything we say after the show doesn't happen."
Doesn't count.
Well, that's why I sent a thing out,
Yeah.
just in case. But, then I thought, should I be sending that on Wednesday
Yeah,
or
maybe.
Thursday?
And
and then again on Sunday, because
Yeah.
I know you're, and a reminder on
lots
Monday.
of reminders.
yeah.
Then okay.
But it worked. It worked.
Yeah,
We'll
it
pull
did.
together.
got
That's
it.
right. What a great cast.
We got it done.
What a great cast.
Well, we're going to go into our headline segment anyway because, well, we don't have time for what all the hell they're doing.
That's right.
Oh my God, headlines and us. It's the show on Tuesday nights. We do it every Tuesday. See how this is going to work out. Well, a car ends up on a roof and police say that crack may have been involved.
It's a thriller to touch Michael's penis.
An idiot, a toll rolled, and a $200,000 tab.
Sex with chickens and fowl of all sorts.
You deserve some opera today.
Oh my. Turkey tips for better sex.
And the filthiest joke ever hidden in a children's movie. These and more coming up now. Oh, a little extra music. I
Right?
like it when I don't shut off the,
I like
the
it
auto
when that-
mix.
I do too.
I don't know what that. What was that?
What was it?
That's it.
Because it sounded
Oh,
good.
well, on some little beat. What is it?
Oh, like a little beat.
I don't know. Dun, 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 dun. Right. Yeah, exactly. All of a sudden we're rapping.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, I forgot that there were cameras on. All right. fine.
Which is why we've moved the television.
See,
No, by the way, it's not about that part. I forgot because of last week, the last couple of weeks.
Good.
not
Just keep
having
forgetting.
It.
It's
No.
fun to watch you
To-
dance.
To be honest, what my goal is to do is to take smaller screens and put them up a little higher so we can all see.
Oh, that's fun.
And just get rid of. What I hate is to do a camera shot of any of us
Sure.
and that screen is in the background. That drives
Oh,
me
yeah.
insane because it doesn't make us look professional like we are.
I
That's
understand.
Damn it.
true. Mother.
Motherfuckers. Well, let's go all the way to the first plate has arrived.
Oh, look at that.
Look at Al. Let me.
Ready.
Oh my God.
good stuff.
Where's the
Do I go next?
I do.
Aaron's gonna direct you through the buffet.
Oh, this is a self-serve buffet. Like, well, all right. Well, I will get my first story out of the way.
If you need any salt and pepper.
That what those are?
Yeah.
Oh, those are cute. Oh, those are cute.
Okay, this is the week that we shouldn't have a camera, but we do.
We're going to. Sorry. South Carolina, police have arrested a man that they believe was driving a car that went airborne and landed on the roof of a Forest Acres rooftop early Saturday morning. A Columbia Police Department spokesman says officers took 21-year-old Antoine Ashley into custody late Monday night. He's been charged with, and this is one of my favorite lines because it's just a stack of shit. He's been charged with reckless driving, driving under suspicion, hit and run, property damage, failure to stop for blue lights, littering,
Blue lights.
blue light. Apparently, blue lights is all
And failure and driving under the suspicion
balls.
of what?
No.
Blue balls.
Driving under
Christmas Carol?
Stand by. Driving under suspicion, hit and run, property damage, failure to stop for blue lights, littering, and trafficking cocaine.
Oh.
Police say he's also a gang member. Investigators say Ashley was the driver of a vehicle that was involved in an illegal drug transaction around 2 a.m. on Saturday. Officers spotted the vehicle. It did not have its headlights on, and they also noticed that the suspect was driving erratically. So an officer attempted to stop the car. Well, he'll have none of that. So he decided to outrun the cops and drive down crazy local roads. So after following the same path that the officers noticed Ashley driving on, they lost him. Then they found his car on top of a roof of a house.
Oh, well.
Oh my God.
Apparently, there's an embankment next to the house with a really sharp curve. And as the driver was being chased by police, he missed the curve, went through the embankment, went airborne, and landed on top of a
So he
of
was
a
playing.
house.
He was playing Dukes of Hazzard
Yes,
while they
exactly.
were playing ships.
But unfortunately,
That's
he
awesome.
got caught literally on the rooftop. There is video. If you go to our Facebook page, I believe it's on there.
How's it go? Clap, clap,
Clap, clap on the rooftop. Timmons said the family was home at the time, but there were no injuries reported. And I do have audio from, and this is this is pretty priceless too, of this guy. Wait, where did it go? Oh hell, what did I do? Oh, I thought well, no.
Well, that's going really well.
What is? Anything?
audio.
Anything? Oh, here we go. Here's the audio from the gentleman who apparently found out he had a car on his roof.
Well, at 2:30 in the morning, we heard
God.
a loud bang. Woke us up, didn't know what was going on. And I walked out the front door, and there were two policemen in the yard, and one of them informed me there was a car on our roof.
That's good work.
The music was unintended. But that was,
And the other police officer played some love-making music.
and then a banjo played, and everything was good.
So we're going to make sweet, sweet love while that car's
Yeah.
on your roof.
Ashley was nowhere to, the driver of the car, Ashley was nowhere to be found, but crack cocaine and cash were recovered from inside the vehicle and taken into evidence. Police also arrested a woman who lied and falsified information about the car. She owned the car and apparently didn't know that he was driving it.
Of course not.
It took a crane a couple hours to get the car off of the roof about 6 a.m. on Sunday. The South Carolina Highway Patrol is currently investigating the wreck, and at press time, there was no listing of legal representation.
Well, I can't see why not.
No, my God,
I
no.
cannot see why not. So there was
Oh, Aaron's in there. Oh, go ahead. Yes.
She's your
Yeah.
hostess.
She's my ghost.
Exactly.
Got it.
So there was a very thrilling time.
My nipples are hard.
For Dr. Conrad Murray
Oh boy.
to hold Michael Jackson's penis
Oh my God.
every night. Yes, I did say that. That's where that came from, I bet. He did that in the 80s too. Yeah. So
He's like,
clearly,
you're awfully old to be holding my penis.
he's been holding it for years.
It's the weirdest story.
It is
It is
the
so
strangest
weird.
story. He said that they were so tight. Right? Thank you. Thank you. When I read that line, I went,
Pun intended.
Come on. That he would hold his penis for him. It was some bizarre kind of rambling interview that, you want to know how close we were? He said, I held his penis every night to fit a catheter.
Oh.
But when you go to fit a catheter, because he was incontinent at night. Murray went on to say he wore dark trousers all the time. I don't know if he means him or Michael, but no, I'm kidding. Because after he went to the toilet, he would drip for hours. These are things that
Well, that's
let it not. We don't speak of these things.
no, exactly.
No.
And I don't need to elaborate either, but
Yeah.
you do lose a little of your continence after you've been cathetered enough.
And if he had been, quite often,
you've
apparently
had a
every
tube up
night.
there.
Yep. And there's this mystery, Murray says. Michael didn't know how to put a condom on, so I had to do it for him.
God.
Oh, he wore a condom catheter. That should not cause the same problems.
Okay. Well, the
Or
fact
was-
that this rambling email was going on
Right.
was
Because like, when was he putting was it a condom
Right.
catheter or was it just a condom for sex?
I know, and that's where when I
I
was
think it's a
reading
condom
it,
catheter.
and that's where I went as well. But then Murray goes on. Thank you. You know, delicious, beautiful.
Could you throw a little of that cranberry shit on there?
Do you want plain open the can of fake shit?
I want her
that still has
stuff.
the rims
I
on
want
Oh
her
yeah,
stuff.
he likes that stuff a lot.
It's a real orgasm. I feel you.
He claims that he believes Michael Jackson killed himself. That he injected himself with the
Propofol.
propofol.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my bad. That he injected himself after he had walked out the door. That he did it very quickly, and that it was so fast that he did it too quickly and it went into cardiac arrest. He also claims that MJ had 3 different the kids have 3 different fathers, and that Michael isn't one of them. He told me he never slept with Debbie Rowe, according to Murray, and insists that he told him he had been sexually assaulted by one of his doctors while he was under sedation.
What?
It was like all over the place.
That is, it sounds
Holy
like he's
shit.
also on propofol.
Yeah,
Where was this going on?
Where was all of this happening?
No, where
Right.
did this email? Who did he send it to?
This is in the Daily Mail. He
But it was
was in
an
something
email he
else
sent
as
to
well.
like an attorney or something about
Right.
the whole lawsuit.
Right. The other piece that I thought was interesting is that Murray suggests Michael predicted he would die on Murray's watch. He says MJ once looked at him and said, for the rest of your life and my life, our names will become inseparable. Murray says MJ smiled and said that he was clairvoyant.
Jesus.
Yeah,
That sounds
if you
just-
think
that
he
sounds
killed,
nuts.
It does. And if you think he killed himself, then maybe he was just making it come true. I mean, who knows? But I just thought it was the strangest thing. And when you see a headline,
And killed himself doesn't mean like he was intentionally like, oh, woe is me,
Suicide,
suicide.
right.
But I want to play with this.
yeah, and when you see this as the headline, Dr. Conrad Murray, I held Michael's penis every night, you kind of go, I better read that.
I
Yeah.
did the same thing. I saw that headline and I'm like, say what?
I
Yeah.
feel like my internet has let me down today because I did not see that.
I just thought it would, last night,
Ooh, now you got
yeah,
another.
that's right, that's
I was
him.
getting all kinds of messages. It's Conrad Murray.
yes. No, I really did.
He needs another penis to hold.
Another white one.
He's down a penis.
Oh, the pepper comes
down a
out
penis.
difficult.
Oh, look at you banging that little, banging that turkey like an Iraqi
Little-
prisoner.
Well, wait till I read the
Oh,
next
Jesus.
story.
My God. What?
Nothing.
Oh.
Go
All right,
I
ahead.
think we're on you.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on me. Well,
Unless you have a story about touching Michael Jackson's penis.
no, I do not. In fact, I've never had one. Don't
What? Plus one.
carry the one.
Carry the two.
Yeah, there's that.
Uh-huh.
No math.
Yep.
Well, just because there's nobody in the toll booth doesn't mean that you don't have to pay the toll. One
story.
Virginia driver learned the hard way that when he was recently slapped with a $200,000 toll bill for failing to pay his dues while driving to the dullest toll road every night for 3.5 years. Now, apparently, they don't really worry about catching up with you too quick over there. Around the Dulles airport because 3.5 years is what it took for him to rack this up.
3.5.
Yeah. According to Fox 5 in the District of Columbia, a gentleman his name is Jason Boussier. It's French. He owed only $440 in missed tolls. Now that's $1.75 per car to pass.
That's a lot of tolls.
Right. Since January of 2013, it costs $1.75 per car to pass through the toll road at the main plaza. However, that sum swelled to a whopping $202,000 because of fees and fines. The Virginia Department of Transportation charges a $25 administrative fee per violation and up to a $500 per infraction fine, depending on the number of offenses. Now, Metropolitan Washington Airport's authority spokesman Christopher Paulino said that Boussier had incurred 335 toll violations.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is
that's
so
a
much
lot.
money.
They're like the IRS with those fines.
Now,
and
he's
fees.
not the only driver in the area to pay a hefty bill like that. Last year, Washington Post reported that 8 car rental companies owe between $80,000 and $200,000 in unpaid tolls and penalties. Now, the rental car places get screwed because, who's driving the car? They have to either go back and prove it, and really they're going to go back and trace through all that and go through all that bullshit. So the rental car companies have to kind of pony up for all that. Now, through finagling and lawyers and all this other stuff, they were able to get his bill down to $40,000 this week in court. He has to now, a court ordered $150 a month he has to pay until it's paid in full.
Oh my gosh.
If he sticks to the payment plan that he's currently been assigned, the estimation is that his balance, including interest, will be paid off by 2067.
Oh my god.
And that just
is like the IRS.
And you know what though? I want him to pay this whole fucking thing. If you think you're gonna go through a toll booth and not pay when everybody else is paying, fuck you.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, now,
absolutely.
Wait, can I-
The story goes on further is the fact that he was stupid enough to believe a friend told him that you don't have to pay if there's nobody in the toll booth. He believed him. So this guy's an idiot anyway. anyway. I've never ever.
Did he have a
heard that.
handicap placard?
He might have, and they're not just for physical disabilities.
He might be able to use that actually in his defense to get some of those fees
He
reduced.
might.
But wait a minute. Okay, I'm confused. Now we don't have toll roads here in Arizona, so
Right.
we don't have to. So I don't drive them. But when I've driven through them, I've driven across the country a couple times. Even if there's no person in it, if it's throwing money into the basket, you have to throw the money in the
Yeah, you
basket
do.
for the arm to raise. So
Right.
Right.
Well, some
Or you
places
went
don't
to-
have arms.
And now they have the Easy Pay. No, there's no arms anymore. It's just red, green, yellow light. But they
Oh.
have Easy Pass where you put the thing on your car and it scans your car.
So
as
if
you
you're
drive
just
through.
if you're just lying and driving through the Easy Pass,
They'll mail you because they take pictures of your car. And
then
your
you're
plate
gonna
and everything.
then soon enough you'll owe $250,000.
That'll get caught up,
Yeah,
too.
right?
It's the show. It is our pre-Thanksgiving show. We're having a lovely little feast in studio with Katie, June, Marnie,
Delicious.
Aaron, Al. I'm Clayton McKee.
Well done.
We've got more to come right after this. We'll be back with more headlines.
You've been listening to the show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. This show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
But I know.
Good evening again. It's 8:05. It's the show. We're not even. The camera's not even up yet. I know you guys don't know that, but I'm sorry.
All right.
Now it's up. Everybody, wave!
Hey, happy Thanksgiving!
And for Canadians, I don't remember what you call this
Happy
week.
Boxing Day.
It's a box. No, that's
No,
Christmas.
That's in January.
Happy
Yeah.
Moose.
That's
'cause there-
January.
No, this might be Queen
And
Victoria Day.
doesn't Hanukkah start tomorrow?
Yes.
It does.
No,
on
Thursday.
Thursday.
Are
On
you ready?
Thanksgiving.
Are you ready for my trivia that I learned from that god awful radio station that plays in my house?
Jesus.
It's the first time in the history of the inaugural Thanksgiving and the traditional Hanukkah that they've ever fallen together.
Yep.
And,
And
the
it
next
won't happen
time,
for
Hanukkah.
75,000
Yeah.
years.
Oh my God.
I don't even think
I
there's
think
gonna.
we're gonna
I mean,
be
are we
old.
gonna? Is there gonna still be a planet of people in 75,000 years?
Well, who knows?
Depends on who fucks it up.
Well,
Yeah,
We'll see.
well.
if we keep littering,
Pay your tolls.
I'm so pay your toll.
Yes.
Pay your fucking tolls.
And don't litter. I saw some
Don't litter.
dickhead throw a
Pisses me
can out of his
There- it's-
window
it's
into
ins-
somebody else's grass,
It's
and I was
insane.
like,
That is the one time that I
what
believe in the death penalty.
are you doing? You are literally
do that in my
driving to
neighborhood.
somewhere
You know what
with
I want?
a garbage
I want
can.
on my bike. I told her this the other day. We
What?
were driving because first of all, I either need one of those stabbers or
Yes, for
or-
people.
Clarify.
no,
For litter.
no,
For
that
litter.
came out wrong.
For litter.
Tyler
If
might have
Tyler's
heard that,
listening,
right.
it came out wrong.
All right.
But
A trash
the-
stabber.
Well, either one of those, or I need a thing on my bike that as we're going, it'd be like
vacuum.
A vacuum.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
Clayton, you could probably
like- I could
manufacture
probably-
that.
yeah, a
we
street
could
sweeper
make
bike.
something up.
Millionaire.
Totally.
Street sweeper bike.
And that way, every time you go out, we could sell that. I think because
This is like a new green invention
Yeah,
that you guys
because-
are about to get rich quick.
No, but I'm just saying, every time that someone goes out, and there are a lot of people that ride their bikes solely for the fact that they don't put pollution in the air, blah, blah, blah. And think about Washington and Oregon. Goddamn, sold. But we would be able to just clean up. Because as I'm riding along, I'm like, I really need to stop and pick that up. That's making me crazy. I want to clean
Yeah.
something up. I can't believe it.
I want to find
So-
the people that were raised to think littering is okay. And
Like,
I
I know.
want to beat them to
Who
death
just
with
leave
a
the
stick.
When we were in
I
San
wanna-
Diego.
There's our violence right there.
Oh, that right.
Ding, ding.
When we were in San Diego on the beach, we're on the beach, right by the water, and I don't mean like on the beach, but like right where the water is coming up, and people had their little chairs there and their Chick-fil-A bags or their
that
McDonald's
tells us about their
bags or
character.
Yeah.
whatever it is, but they have that down there, and they
Right.
just leave them, and they go in the water, and then you have the birds that are coming, and they're
Right.
get it. Oh my God, I was insane. Because
Oh, and
I'm not going to go in
and
the
when
water.
when you start polluting the ocean,
Yeah.
then I
We're
want to
screwed.
slow torture you with a spoon.
She just
and
laughs
dig
at
out
me
your
because
fucking
I'm out there.
eyeballs.
I'm like, why aren't there things closer? Oh, it makes me.
It is the beginning of it's the beginning of hour 2. We've still got some headlines to go through. A whole lot is happening tonight. We have a full meal. We're eating in studio, so this is our pre-Thanksgiving Day
Happy Thanksgiving Day,
show.
everyone.
So because we won't be with you Thursday, because we'll be eating elsewhere with other people, because that's what we do. But as we kick off the hour 2, we're going to do it the normal way with Al Perkins and our drinking game.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
I got nothing.
What is that?
Busy learning about Boxing Day.
Tits on a bar.
Tits on a whore. Let's just give it up for Donnie in Japan. Let's begin. Bonzai!
Bonsai! Oh, for the love.
We've got two different stories here, and we need someone to Google this. I always thought that Boxing Day in Canada was the day to
Christmas.
return. Boxing Day is the day after
Day
Christmas.
after Christmas, right?
Was the day to return your gifts.
That's right.
That they always had the day off to go and like return stuff. They give
No
them.
way.
Yeah.
But now, and I
It's
never.
on your sister's calendar.
I never lived with servants, so I didn't realize that it was a holiday
sure.
started in England.
Yeah, me either.
I know it's an English holiday, but I didn't realize it was so because the servants had to work on Christmas that they got the next day off, which is what Tomo was saying. So that's kind of funny. So we'll have to Google it and find out which one it really is because.
Done.
But Boxing Day was a big thing growing up near Canada. Was you knew that the Canadians were free the next day to like invade the country.
Oh yeah,
Bonzai!
they were your neighbors.
Bonsai, eh?
It actually,
do
thanks Tomo.
like
It
it.
is
Well
a
done,
day
Tomo.
when servants and tradesmen will receive gifts from their bosses or employers and have the day off.
Oh, there you go. So they had to work like the
Yeah.
slaves in the serfdom that they were,
And then you have that day.
and then you get the 26th off.
That's right. Only.
And then I got
Only.
Oh,
only.
and the gift that they got was called the Christmas box.
That's
So
what I was
that's
going to
where
ask
it
next.
became
Boxing
Boxing
Day.
Day.
Yeah.
I want a
I
Christmas
thought they were.
box.
I thought it was like Black
Not even
Friday that they
listening.
were
She's not
just
even
beating the
listening.
shit out of each other. You know, like Boxing
I
Day,
heard
like
it.
to go get gifts.
I'm gonna box
So
you for
I
that.
I said I want a Christmas box.
Because of where I grew up without.
Look at her change colors.
Yeah. I thought you said look at her tits colors. I'm like,
I did too. Also, yeah.
blue and
Point to
gray.
'em tonight. Look at everybody.
Colors.
Blue and gray. Because I grew up, without money or servants, we were always told that it was the day that you return the gifts you didn't like. So you got one more day to get Christmas right, which always made me laugh. And I'm like, those fucking
I don't like the
Canadians.
shit you bought me.
They
I'm gonna
think of
take it back.
everything.
I'm gonna put it back in the box.
That's right.
Take it back.
Yeah, but it is an actual holiday. But we're one of the few countries that doesn't have a state holiday every month because they make shit up.
Canada.
And I can't
God
remember.
bless them. Really.
Grandparents Day? What the hell?
I always want
We
to
have
say
Grandparents Day.
I know we do, but I mean, it's a Hallmark
They like
holiday.
celebrate that shit.
Oh, that's true.
Oh no,
they
grandparents come to
celebrate
school and have lunch with their grandchildren. That's a fun day in school.
Yeah.
That's cute.
When your kid is
Yeah,
5.
especially when you got a grandfather coming in. Y'all have colored kids that come to school with you?
Seriously.
Yeah, that's
was
what
my
you want.
grandpa.
That's what you want for Jesus.
Any of y'all speak
This
English?
is show and tell.
Right.
Yeah.
How did you darkies get into school?
Wow.
I'm
Well, now it really does sound like Thanksgiving.
Bonsai?
We got
Bonsai.
we got a racist bonsai uncle over
No.
here.
That's what Jason Carlton's grandfather said when he showed up. He's like,
That's fantastic.
"Do you play basketball with those colored kids?"
Oh.
And Jason said he just
No,
wanted,
I watch them because they're better than me. Seriously.
motherfuckers can jump. God damn it. There's that.
Oh, that's.
Oh, I love that Harrison thought it was a day to donate to charity.
Well, that seems.
Maybe that's what you do with the gifts you don't like.
She's been eating vegetables for too long.
All that nail polish smell has gone to her
I
head.
thought that was every other day.
Marnie, your next story. Are you ready or no?
I am. Who wants to fuck a chicken?
No,
Well, I'm just
if
asking.
it's wrapped in a turkey, me.
Okay.
A turducken?
Well,
Is it chicken wrapped in
that
bacon?
as well. There's that as well. Excuse me. How gross. So there's a gentleman. This is just
Course
his
he is.
handsome little picture.
There he is.
He's a good-looking one.
Oh, both eyes open, sir.
Whee!
Both eyes open.
I think they are.
Focus,
Yep.
focus,
Focus.
For those,
focus.
for
Look
those
at me.
who are
Look at me.
unable to see, he's low eye, so I'm pretty sure he's not sober. And one of those low eyes is
not sure about
I don't know where
that.
it's looking.
I think that
Wasn't she in TLC?
something. Still dead.
Still dead.
Left eye.
Left, not low eye.
Low
left
eye.
My bad.
Anyway.
T-Bows.
What?
Lisa
Word
Low Eye
to your
Lopez.
mother.
Left eye Lopez. Low eye.
Low
Right.
eye. That was the joke.
I got
Al.
it. I got it after I heard you. I peed on your joke and then realized what I was doing.
Took a second. Took
I think
just
it's Dr.
a second.
Conrad Murray to put that back in my pants.
Right?
Occasionally on my own show, I am funny.
Yeah,
You are.
there it was.
It's funny.
November 2073.
No,
Let's write
to the
this down.
26. There it is.
Oh, there we go.
73 is the temperature.
I haven't referred to the
Bonzai!
atomic clock in a while.
Oh, the atomic clock on the
Oh,
wall.
that's good stuff. So Bessingano.
That's his name?
That's his name.
Okay.
Gesundheit.
European.
It's European.
Oh,
exactly.
it is.
So he was arrested for bestiality.
That
Oh,
bless
God.
him.
Oh, Jesus.
Now we are killing a domestic animal. It was a bird, but and torturing or mutating a vertebrate animal. He sexually assaulted a guinea fowl and then he killed it. Now he has previously been in trouble with the law.
It's the first time I've wondered which came first. The guinea fowl or the
beast.
Who just fuck first, the guinea fowl or the egg?
I'm not sure. We'll talk about the egg in a minute.
Oh,
so,
God.
previously, the European guy from Chicago, New Chicago, included a 2001 incident with a chicken in a hotel room. So
In a
he's not-
hotel
so
room?
this wasn't
Wasn't his
his
first.
first. No, this isn't his first go round at the farm.
Oh, Jesus.
He apparently appreciated the guinea fowl. Now there was a laborer that was jailed for having sex with fowl as well. And
What are we doing? We're rearranging the office.
I don't know.
I
I'm not
just
sure.
realized that we can't get in and out of here because of this table that keeps flipping my
Oh,
ass.
we're redecorating. So there was a gentleman that he was a farm laborer. Well, which makes
Well,
sense.
sure.
It's kind of like somebody who works at a children's daycare. I mean, for a pedophile, right?
Okay.
This would be a foul file. Well, something.
Okay.
And or a chickophile.
Chicken fowl.
Chicken
fowl.
chicken pow, chicken pow.
Bonzai. So
Brown chicken, brown bonsai.
anyway, he was in court and he's in prison for 12 months for having sex with domestic
12
fowl.
months.
Now, come on, you get 12 months in jail. You can murder somebody and not get that much time
That's
in jail.
very true.
Our
That's
prison
true.
system is fucked up.
Chickens are held in high regard.
Apparently.
Well, they're delicious.
Oh, that's true.
yeah.
I mean, at least I eat them after I fuck them.
So here's the part that
Somebody didn't know you were talking about.
if somebody just tuned in, Al's not necessarily fucking chickens and then eating them. So the inspector
Jesus.
said that 2 weeks after all this happened, oh, poor thing, poor bird, the bird died and
Wow.
the carcass was thrown away, right?
As a
But-
result of injuries caused from
yes,
the.
exactly. It was like head
From
injury.
Jesus.
Oh, no.
Oh, that was bad pun.
Beak injury. Anyway, so and he ran around a circle.
Run around like a
sure.
chicken with your head cut off.
Only one of us got coffee.
So there was a knock on the door. Not the chicken. Not the chicken.
Was it
Nope.
Foghorn Leghorn? I said, boy, you been fucking chickens around here? I say.
Oh, my God.
Ah!
This is an incredibly good likeness to Foghorn Leghorn.
Oh, okay.
So, chicken fucker, still in jail.
I said, boy, you a chicken fuck off. So
Look at the wings on that little bird. Okay.
So there were 8 eggs. There were 8 eggs that were under incubation, and they'd all been smashed. So this inspector got curious, and upon close examination, detected a whitish fluid on the hen that had been hatching the eggs. The prosecutor said the complainant became suspicious and confronted the accused, who confessed to having sex with the bird. I
whitish.
can just still hear him, and it's making me laugh. During interrogation by the police after his arrest, he readily admitted the offense and said it was his 3rd time. Now, he's not like most people, like they're driving after they're, like under intoxication. I only had 2.
2 beers.
Right? No.
I've definitely fucked chickens
Yeah,
3 times.
Three times.
Three
full times.
Three times.
At least.
She's Birdie.
3 times to completion. Anyway.
And lastly, foul play.
Has been.
Yeah, Bonzai, right? He kills himself after being caught by his wife having sex with a chicken.
Did he really kill himself?
A man of 20. This is
A different
chicken
chicken fucker.
foul fucking.
Yeah, can I tell you my favorite part of all this is she Googled like
Chicken
fucking
fucker?
turkeys and she got information about Turkey the country.
Oh,
and then like fucking
turkey.
fowl, having sex with fowl.
And YouTube came up and there were like 7 YouTube things, and I was like, "Oh my god!" If anybody tracks,
We did not watch
the
them.
fact that I'm looking.
All you have to.
You're also going to jail.
Oh,
if
I
you don't
know.
like-
All you have to do is tell authorities that you're part of this cast, and they'll be like, "Oh, never mind."
Oh, we got
She
it.
was
you're
Google
fine.
searching chicken fuckers.
So yeah, poor.
That's what they're gonna say about you.
23-year-old guy, his wife catches him having fucking a chicken.
How- I don't even
in
get like the logistics of
Zimbabwe.
that.
I don't really get.
You want
really
white or
You
dark meat,
sure
sir?
got a pretty beak.
Who gets to pick who gets to
These are
commit
my thoughts.
suicide? The person that's fucking the chicken, or the person who's like, oh my god, my husband would rather fuck a chicken than me.
Or maybe she has a big nose and it was a likeness.
That thing went in me after the chicken, and I don't know if he had a moist towelette.
That is just.
Would you like a Sandy Hands? I've got a whole box of Sandy
I'm
Hands.
just saying, there's so many filthy people in that story.
really.
I am just too
There's a lot happening.
I am just too mental capable, right? Because we were talking handicap, mental cap, but
Mental cap.
I'm mental
That's
capable
some serious
because.
fucking bling you're sporting
Thank
there.
you.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah.
Did you steal that from Jesus?
Well,
Did that come with frankincense
I
and
may,
myrrh?
I may have it.
Or-
there was a $5 limit.
Or is
with
your
those
new
3
job
guys.
this week whore?
No, it literally came in a package in the mail. I bought like a Beauty Blitz surprise package.
Jesus Christ.
And for $5.95.
It's gonna turn my wrist green
I
in
love it.
about a week and a half.
No.
But for now, it's just fun.
For now, it's
I
just
love it.
blinding friends and neighbors.
It's so fun.
love it.
Well, Al, you didn't get to hear me read the intro to this story, but I think you'll enjoy it. A Northeast Ohio fast food worker has a classically trained voice, and she works part-time as a hostess at an area McDonald's, and she serves up meals with a free side of song.
Oh, that's got to be annoying.
Diana Anderson is 71, and she carries a worn book of arias and uses her operatic voice to entertain diners at the Akron, Ohio area McDonald's restaurant, where she works part-time as a hostess, which is what I said earlier, because I didn't read ahead. She'll do renditions of music from operas and Broadway musicals, birthday serenades for the staff, and occasionally a silly original tune like the one she made up about a fallen pickle on the floor.
Now, that would probably be the most entertaining of all.
She says, I sing mostly in the back so it doesn't interfere with customers placing their orders or impinge on customers' personal conversations. Her audience one day included sports fans and a group of Amish men at the counter who seemed quite entertained by this lovely lady. Darlene Krosman of Akron praised a rendition of Summertime from the musical Porgy and Bess, saying she could appreciate Anderson's high notes despite having hearing difficulties.
Well, the deaf lady and the Amish, like, yeah, I guess you're going to be a star.
Amish had never heard anything like that.
I have 2 questions. Why are the Amish at McDonald's, and what the fuck is a hostess do
That
at
was the
McDonald's?
first thing I thought was, why are the Amish at McDonald's?
Right.
Hostess, she runs around, she cleans off tables and collects trays. That's all she does.
She's a greeter.
They pay people to do that at
Yes, they
McDonald's?
do.
know.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
You're
Sorry,
extremely,
continue
you're
on about our
extremely front of the house.
Porgy. Yes, you
She
are.
probably works like 11 to 1 each day.
She does.
The actual rush.
And sings.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's a divorced mother of 5, and she says that singing has helped her through troubled times through her life.
But not birth control.
Her employers say that her mix of talents is a benefit for their business. She does fries, dishes, and prep, says Sally Long, spokesman of Rubber City McDonald's.
Rubber
She
City.
really is a great example to younger workers.
Bonzai.
Bonzai. There's a
That's as good
Wow.
as I'm still laughing about last week's slowest turtle in the Heard County, Florida.
the manatee.
The manatee.
But now, Rubber Dick,
manatee.
Ohio. What was it called?
Rubber beak. They
Rubber
fuck foul
s-
there.
The franchise, the company that owns a franchise is called Rubber City McDonald's.
Oh, I thought they were. It's like an actual place
So my
called
guess
Rubber
is
City.
no. I think Akron, Ohio is there's a
Googling.
large Cooper Tires or General Tires is there. So like right, it's Rubber City.
Oh, sure.
Of course it is.
But then why does she have 5 kids?
Duh.
Right, because
Akron, Ohio
wrong
is
rubber.
the rubber
Wrong
capital.
rubber.
It's the
That's
rubber
right.
capital of the world, as a matter of
there's the
fact.
danger of homonyms. She thought she was protected.
Just by the city limits.
She was simply retreaded.
Yep.
That's all it was.
She sure was. Bonzai.
5 times.
Turns out it was ribbed for his pleasure.
It was an all-season radio.
We can go all day with this.
All-wheel drive.
Probably will.
We always let things go. Oh my God, that's fantastic.
Oh, is there anybody even in the chat room at this point?
Yeah.
Oh, Missy's there with bird flu.
Well, I was just going to say, if we're fucking chickens, bird flu is much less of a surprise now.
No.
It really is. It really is.
And Tomo,
How
I don't
did you
have a
catch
floor.
bird flu when I came in it?
What were you doing? Basting a chicken? Hey.
I think we have turkey dinner on the floor. She spits. She doesn't swallow.
I had one wish. I needed someone to spit turkey across the room. It's all I asked.
Well, the show's gone to hell.
Fast.
That's good stuff right there. I like it.
Chicken.
I like it a lot.
Nobody's sure. Marnie, take it away.
All right. So I wanted to give y'all
My
some...
little chicken nugget.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
I know it is.
I'm a little taken aback. Okay. Well, I just wanted to give y'all some turkey cooking tips for better sex.
Good.
Okay?
Oh, wait a minute. Are these? Is this the same
Not
story?
sex with chickens.
Same
Well,
story?
except for it does put the
Show chickens.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
talk loud
It's a
so I
little
can hear it while I
creepy.
get more food.
So, however distasteful this might sound.
Couldn't be worse than the last story.
No. Are you kidding? That last story was great. Mm-hmm. Cooking turkey and having sex, there are a ton of similarities.
Okay.
Okay? You're prepping naked skin,
Good.
right? You're heating things up. You're getting stuffed.
That's true.
And you're being done.
Is there a pop-up timer involved in this somewhere?
Well, there could be.
That would be appreciated.
I'm going back
you're-
to the white or dark meat selection.
Right? And so, in honor of the upcoming holiday, we have top 10 turkey tips for having sex.
Number 10.
All right. Now, let me go back.
You have to go in reverse.
No, I know.
Like
I
Letterman.
just had it right. Once the cooking is done, tent yourselves loosely with a blanket and rest for about a half an hour before diving in again.
Good.
Good.
If
That's
you
good.
need more time to recover, you can rest for up to an hour without losing too much heat.
Good.
Okay, good to know. Mm-hmm. Once the turkey goes in the oven, I want to cook another turkey. Once the turkey goes in the oven, don't open the door too often. Every time you do, the heat drops precipitously. So it'll raise both the cook time as well as the odds of dryness.
I don't get that one. Don't open the door too often. I don't get what door you're opening.
The oven door where the turkey is.
I mean, when sex. What is the oven
The
door?
penis door.
Metaphorically.
Don't take it out.
Oh,
Maybe.
don't,
I don't
it's been a long
know.
time.
Don't
I forget
look at
that
your dick
part.
a lot while you're fucking.
And not he didn't mean you. Deal with the legs and the wings first. Then you'll have more success when you get to the breast.
That seems fair.
Number 7. Scatter rose petals on your bed before arranging yourselves on top. They'll add tons of romance to your drippings.
Oh, really?
That's just bad.
I just read this.
But I do like the idea of more romance in my drippings.
I understand. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Number the whitish fluid. The number 6. Dressing up for sex may look professional and pretty, but for the best sex, leave yourselves untrussed. And hey, it's one less thing for you to do on your list of things for Thanksgiving, of course.
To untrust your partner.
Yeah. Number 5. Keep a bottle of lube on the side. Moisten generously.
That's good advice.
Yes. Always good.
On the
Yes.
side? I think it should be in the
Lube on
middle.
the side. Well, if you're, basting the turkey and whatever. So, all right.
You keep pulling out to look at it or opening the door, you gotta lube it up.
There you go. See, because of the dryness.
Open that door.
You don't want that
Number-
thing hitting air too often.
Number 4, these are the important ones. Number 4, people have better sex if they're not overstuffed. A light diet of mostly vegetables, carrots, celery,
Fine, I'll put it down.
onions, and garlic with fresh herbs add flavor without leading to dryness or bitterness.
Okay.
Number 3.
Bitter. It's too
So
late.
I'm thinking dryness is a problem in your menopause story because you brought it up like 4 times.
She didn't write this.
I just read this.
FYI.
I just read these things.
My bad. I thought it was your
Yeah.
personal journal.
No. But after
a little
this,
different.
after this, I'll go ahead and write one.
Lesbian bed death.
Yeah, right?
A story of dryness. Brought to you by Bonzai. Power lubricant.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Next to me. I'm thankful for it. Bonzai. the hottest sex,
Oh, here we go.
Start to get things cooking. But leave it unconsummated at least overnight. Number 2.
That'll make for more drippings.
There you have it.
On the rose bed.
Romance or none.
On the
That's
pedals.
right.
Just dripping.
Both low heat and high heat seduction styles have their merits. The classic method is 3 dates before sex if you're willing to sacrifice the possibility of long-term leftovers. You can do it on the first date. And lastly, plan ahead. The best way to warm someone up is to take your time, count on several hours or even days of foreplay, which apparently would be the turkey, thawing and then prepping it.
I've
and
never
then
made a turkey.
I don't know.
The
Salt and
turkey in the
peppering
straw.
And then you don't fuck until day
So,
4? Come on.
I
people.
guess. So these
Date
are
4,
the
that's
At least
appropriate.
chicken in a hotel room, and then
these
have
are the
at it.
I'm going
top.
to have swine flu before that happens.
Well, those are the top 10.
Come in that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Cooking tips.
I came in that pig. That's how I got swine flu.
It's startling, the comparison.
Oh, you have no idea. It really is.
It's amazing. There you have it.
Well, before
Thank you for enjoying it.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Whew.
This side of the table's the fun side right now.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Bonsai this.
I got cornbread and real butter.
Now, I'm pretty sure that Al, being how he is the movie person of our staff, really, I mean, he knows more about more worthless trivia about movies than anybody else I know. Do you know about the filthiest joke ever hidden in a children's movie, Al?
I mean, I feel like I know some of them. I'm not Al, but
Lion
I
King?
do feel like I know some of them.
No,
Well, let me
don't know any of them.
let me tell you.
I'm gonna
the
say
story,
Lion
shall
King.
I?
Yeah.
One of the most beloved and
I
often
didn't.
oft-quoted moments in the ridiculously beloved and oft-quoted film Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is the sequence in which the unbalanced candy maker displays his newest invention, lickable wallpaper.
Oh, yeah.
As the children and their guardians go to town licking that wallpaper, Wonka declares, "Lick an orange, it tastes like an orange. The strawberries taste like strawberries, and the snozberries taste like snozberries." Well, though snozberries seems like a fanciful fictional word and nobody knows what they really are, well, except that Roald Dahl, the book's author, knew exactly what snozberries were because they're dicks.
Oh.
Snozberries are penises. It says Willy Wonka made those kids lick dick-flavored wallpaper, according to this. It turns out the guy who thought a story about an insane recluse casually murdering a group of children had a pretty fucked up sense of humor.
Actually murdering a group.
In '79, Dahl decided to revisit snozberries in his adult novel called My Uncle Oswald. The equally witty and disgusting story revolves around Oswald Hendricks Cornelius, an uncle and the greatest fornicator of all time, along with his sexy accomplice Yasmin Haucomely.
Oh, I thought you were saying
How
Yasmin.
comely.
Haucomely, he devises a complicated get-rich-quick scheme that involves Haucomely seducing Europe's most famous men and then selling used condoms full of their spent white
God.
substance to women wishing for birth
Whitish.
whitish to birth a famous progeny.
Prodigy.
Something like that.
Progeny. Yeah.
Progeny. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, apparently
European.
in the
Child.
book, the term snozberry comes from when Yasmin Haucomely recounts her experience with George Bernard Shaw. The scene goes something about he asks how she got the rubbery thing on him, and she says, "Well, basically, I just grabbed him by his old snozberry and hung onto it like with the grip of death." And he's like, "Oh, I bet that makes him pay attention." She goes, "Yeah, it's very effective."
Now, is this a story about Conrad Murray?
No. Now, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was written in '64, which is 15 years before Uncle Oswald revealed that the wallpaper was made to taste like the head of a dick.
Now, is Uncle Oswald Lee Harvey?
No.
Yes.
I'm just trying to tie together the whole week.
In
Trying
the-
to tie together the week. That's it.
In the strictest sense of the term, we're pretty sure that this makes Willy Wonka a pedophile. And honestly, who's really surprised about that?
The Lilliputians running around.
I
Like, hey.
thought that was a funny story when I saw that.
I want an Oompa Loompa
But now, come on.
Turning violet.
I honestly, I never liked
love
that
that.
movie until the remake. I loved
Of
the
Willy
remake.
Wonka?
Really?
I mean,
I liked the original.
Johnny Depp.
original when he gets the golden ticket and it's so happy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I love
for some
that.
reason that
I'm gonna
movie
go
always
and
just
take
made me
it.
creepy.
Skip
Well,
that.
it
Well,
is
those
fucking
little orange
creepy
Oompa
as
Loompas.
shit.
Well, it was supposed to be creepy.
Sure.
Yeah. And I mean, seriously, Gene Wilder is just amazing.
Yeah,
I love him.
And that's one of the
I
few movies I
love
don't
the
like.
original.
I
Me
saw
too.
it once. I'm like, I don't need to see that.
Okay.
again.
Well,
seen
you're
it
the
a
same
number
way.
of
By the way,
times.
let's just do a reminder. Bonsai, Cosby Show. To the left.
Bonsai. Oh, yeah. I like
Still not funny.
Oh,
For him.
yeah.
Oh.
Allie, you ready for entertainment? Because we all are. Because the rest of it hasn't been. So here we go with Al Perkins and entertainment.
Who knows what we're doing here? Oh, so the new gay show on HBO has a name. HBO, if you don't have it, you need to get it now because they're doing a Sondheim tribute. I have a movie review. The Spirit Award nominations are out. Alec Baldwin gets fired, and Jennifer Lawrence just bumped herself up to a probable Oscar nomination.
Oh.
And then people lived and died.
Every week they live and die.
True story.
In
Movies or whatever you call it.
Okay, so I was talking about the Jonathan Groff show last week, and I said that it didn't have a name. It does have a name. It's called
The
Looking.
Jonathan Groff Show?
What's it called?
It's called Looking. It's gay guys in New York City. Looks kind of dirty, sexy, fun.
On HBO.
On HBO. It starts I want to say January 19th.
Do we have HBO?
we have a week free.
Oh, when's Orange is the New Black back?
That's on Netflix, and I'm not sure, but it's.
But
I
same
think they're
time
filming.
area, right? January.
No, I think a little bit later.
Oh fuck.
If I'm not mistaken, they're like.
All right, but back to the show.
I want to say they're headed to March. So, really looks really Jonathan Groff.
I love Jonathan Groff.
Yeah, Jesse. So there's that, and then on HBO, let me find the link here. On December.
Bonzai.
Yep. December 9th, HBO premieres 6 by Sondheim, a brand new documentary that profiles arguably the greatest composer in contemporary musical theater. I'll agree. Directed by James Lapine and starring Darren Criss, America Ferrera.
I love her.
And now there's a
Wow.
Oh, I do. I mean, I was just
Do you
telling
hear
you
that?
that.
Mm-hmm. She loves
America Ferrera
her.
is just—she's brilliant. And,
Jeremy Jordan from Smash and from Newsies. And I can't think of this woman's name, but she's the one in Hairspray that played every single character. She wasn't in the movie. In the movie, they let someone play all those different characters. But in the musical of Hairspray, this woman played like every third character. She was the head of the women's prison, and she was in every scene, and she was hysterical. And clearly this is not going to offer more, but you can find them doing Merrily We Roll Along. And it's Darren, Jordan, and America doing Merrily We Roll Along online right now. But they're going to do Sunday in the Clowns, I'm Still Here, Something's Coming, Being Alive, Sunday in the Park with George. And, it's Opening Doors that they have right now on Entertainment Weekly. And it looks just delightful. Just delightful.
I like it.
The Independent Spirit Awards, which are handed out the day before the Oscars. It's done in an informal ceremony on the beach, and I want to say in Santa Monica. I never remember what beach they're on, and it's very, very, very laid back, very casual. It's so the people coming in for the Oscars the day before, they can just kind of chill out and do this very independent thing. There's a budget limit. The movies have to be made in America. There's all kinds of rules. So they get a couple things. They get a couple of movies in that the Oscars aren't going to get, but lately they've been kind of corresponding, and over the last few years, people have really been showing up the day early, to get, especially if they're in the independent spirits, because it gets everybody talking about these movies that aren't getting the buzz that they should be from all the Oscar, Golden Globes, SAG Award contenders. So, like a movie like Gravity will never be in the Independent Spirit Awards. I can't remember what the budget limit is, but it's there. So, Best Feature, they have 12 Years a Slave, Nebraska, a movie called Frances Ha, which I think is on Netflix right now, and getting a lot of good press. All Is Lost with Robert Redford, which I guess I'm going to be forced to see because this movie will not shut the fuck up about its Oscar chances.
I thought you wanted to see
Oh, so
that.
why
I
would-
do, so I'm going to go
I
tomorrow.
don't think you were ever forced to ever see a movie. You'll see anything.
Right. But I just keep thinking this movie's gonna like fade. People are gonna stop talking about it as an Oscar hopeful.
Right.
That Robert Redford's chances are gonna slip. But it's like Robert Redford alone on a boat. It's kind of like Gravity in the water with a man.
Oh, okay.
And it really is Robert Redford trying to do a solo trip around the world. Everything goes wrong, and it's his task
So it's
of
Ernest
surviving.
Hemingway.
Yeah, very much so.
Old
very
Man
much
in the
so.
Sea.
Old Man in the Sea,
Yeah.
yes. A little bit older than Batman, but different
Right.
man.
No.
So Inside Llewellyn Davis is the other movie that just fucking opened. I went to the movies yesterday. Oh, thank you. And if I see one more goddamn trailer for Inside Llewellyn Davis and I don't see the fucking movie, I'm seriously gonna be pissed.
Inside Llewellyn Davis.
Yeah, it's got It's the new Coen Brothers, Fargo,
Okay.
Hudsucker Proxy. It's their new movie. It's about folk music. It premiered at Cannes in like March. They've been pushing it every month. The trailers have been out for 9 months. Play the fucking movie. I'm
Right.
so sick of this trailer. But it's
Why,
another
is
one that
there a
won't go
reason
away.
why
They're just saving it for this whole Oscar time,
okay.
Oscar buzz
Okay.
release.
Okay.
But I'm just sick of hearing about it. I just want to see it. So, a couple of fun things. Let me get to the nominees. So, Enough Said did very well in this. The Spectacular Now did very well, but the
Love
main
this
movie
Enough
is
Said.
it's 12 Years a Slave is the main movie. So, Best Female Lead, they went with Cate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine. She'll probably win the Oscar. Has a good chance here too. Julie Delpy for Before Midnight, which is the third part of the Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before Midnight. Something called Crystal Fairy, which I'd never heard of. Brie Larson gets in for Short Term 12. I keep telling you all to pay attention to Brie Larson. Find her,
Yes,
see her
right,
stuff,
right, right,
enjoy
yeah.
her. She's good. She's up and coming. The Short Term 12 comes out on DVD in January. Shailene Woodley for The Spectacular Now gets a nomination. And then for male lead, it's Bruce Dern for Nebraska, which I'll tell you about in a minute. Chiwetel Ejiofor for 12 Years a Slave.
Oh,
Oscar...
that sounds hard to
Yeah, that's
say.
the one I keep fucking up,
Yeah.
but I have it written in front of me. Oscar Isaac for this Inside Llewellyn Davis. And then the surprise nomination, Michael B. Jordan gets in for Fruitvale Station. You saw that, right? About the kid that got
Totally
shot?
saw it.
Yeah. So that movie's doing a little bit better than expected because it came up with a Best Actor nomination here, which is a good foreshadowing. Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club and Robert Redford for All Is Lost. The only big surprise in this...
And you just saw Dallas Buyers Club, right?
Yeah, last week.
Yeah.
The only thing in this was that for supporting actress, everyone's pretty much saying that at the Oscar time it's going to be Octavia Spencer for Fruitvale Station, Oprah Winfrey for
Butler.
The Butler, and then, oh my God, I'm going to say it right, Lupita Nyong'o for 12 Years a Slave. That those are your top three for the Oscar. Well,
Now, is that the first time ever that we've had 3 African American women
yeah, and
nominated?
they could even go one more, and they're saying that
I'm sorry, these aren't official nominations. My bad.
No,
Okay.
I mean, for the Indie Spirit Awards, yes. And the fact that they have 2 directors, the first feature director and best director, could both be black men. Like, African American cinema this year is blowing up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And they're all getting good box office. Fruitvale Station has made more now than The Hurt Locker did in its entire run in theaters. So
and then was that the same? Why do you bring that comparison?
Because
between
the Hurt Locker is
Fruitvale
like,
and Hurt Locker?
because the Hurt
it's not
Locker,
the same director.
No,
is
but
it?
it's a small little film that maybe a lot of people aren't going to be enticed to see.
Right, yes.
Because it's a difficult subject matter.
Right.
So
and
here,
Fruitvale Station, small film, difficult subject. Got it.
yeah. So you got it. And
And,
you-
and,
Which I
and
actually-
a real story as well.
Yeah,
Right.
which I liked better. I mean, I
I
know
did
they're
too.
wildly different movies, but I was more interested in Fruitvale Station than I was in The Hurt Locker.
Yeah.
It took me like a few times to get through The Hurt Locker.
Oh, and I seriously couldn't drag it.
Yeah.
When that movie won Best Picture, it pissed me off because I could not pay people to go
I-
see that movie. I saw it in the summer and liked it. Could not convince people, even after it was nominated. Be like, I'll go see it with you. Do you want to go see it? No, I don't want to see that.
I was just kind of bored. I mean, it wasn't like a boring. It was like an intense thing, but I just was.
Yeah.
not my-
I tried to
not-
watch it.
Not my kind of movie.
I rented it. I tried to watch it. It was not, mine either.
It kept
just-
expiring. I kept having to rent it
Yeah.
over and over again on iTunes, and it would expire because I was just like, don't
Yeah.
care.
And maybe it was just the mood, when
Yeah.
you're in a certain
And it
place.
was a good movie, but it was one of the, and I always bring that up. Like, some movies don't need to win Best Picture. Like,
Right.
that was a great movie, but if I can't find one other person
Sure,
that sat
sure.
through it till 6 months after it was released, then I'm sorry.
Right.
Who did you have that conversation with that you thought it was the Best Picture? So there was something. So for Best First Screenplay, which is kind of fun because this is your introduction to the award show circuit, and it's a good thing because they don't do original screenplay and screenplay adaptation. They just do screenplay and then they'll do Best First Screenplay. So, In a World by Lake Bell, you saw that, right?
In a World.
Funny movie. She gets a nomination, which I was so excited about. Don John gets a nomination for Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And this Nebraska, which I'm talking about now. So that's fun. The Independent Spirit Awards, they're a lot of fun. I think they're on the beach in Santa Monica. But it might
Oh,
be
I wanna
another
go
beach.
to them.
But very casual. They just do it on the chairs. No one gets dressed up. Everyone's in like jeans and t-shirts and has a great time. And
Sounds amazing.
Like you do in Santa Monica.
Right.
IFC now broadcasts them, and it's a really fun show to watch, just to see people celebrating little movies. And almost everybody just cries because their movie got made for less than $10.
Right.
So
Or
they're
if-
all so happy.
If Matthew McConaughey wins. It's gonna be, thank God somebody released this movie because I lost 50 pounds and there was no distributor.
God, it was so good.
I wasn't even getting paid.
Right.
So Nebraska, Alexander Payne, he did Election, he did Sideways, he did The Descendants, Citizen Ruth. And if you have not seen Citizen Ruth, see Citizen Ruth. Abortion rights, hysterical comedy, Swoozie Kurtz.
I love her.
Laura Dern,
Yep.
absolutely hysterical,
favorite.
where an abortion group kidnaps a woman who's trying to have an abortion. It's absolutely hysterical, and it's Alexander Payne's first movie, and it's
When did that come out?
brilliant.
96.
96. Okay.
So he's been hitting out of the park for like 17 years now.
Okay.
And Nebraska, black and white movie. Bruce Dern gets something in the mail that he thinks he won $1 million through like a Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. Will Forte from Saturday Night Live.
Oh, I love Will Forte.
Yeah.
This movie, I'm not sure.
Oh, it's
about
phenomenal, and it's
you saw
so
it?
funny. Yes, so funny. Because I thought it was gonna be dry, but I'm like, all right, I'll go see an Alexander Payne movie, and
It looks really dry.
and everybody's talking, like the buzz has just been enormous. So I'm like, all right. So I was off yesterday. A friend called me. He's like, I'm going to see Nebraska. Do you want to go? I'm like, I'll get it out of the way. Check it off my list. Oh my God, laughed my ass off. One of the funniest comedies, and her name is Jane Squibb. I've seen her once or twice. I couldn't put her name to anything, and this woman steals the movie out from everybody with her filthy mouth and dirty talking, and just she just cuts everybody down to size. Like, everybody's trying to have this great family drama in Nebraska, and she's like, "You're a fucking idiot."
Oh, she's his wife.
She's his wife, who's even older. Like, I think she was born in 29, so she's like 85 years old with the part of her career. And the movie was so light, so entertaining, just a delightful time. So if it's in a town near you, or we're
In a town.
if it comes to a town near, please go see it. It was so damn funny.
There's another one that has previews out, and forgive me if I was out of the room when you mentioned it, I'm not sure, but it's with it's that weird it's something about a bellboy.
Oh, right. The new one from Wes Anderson.
And he's the guy that always does like the Bill Murray, Jason Goldman. That's
Jason
my
Reitman.
friend. Jason
Reitman.
No, who's
Jason
the actor?
I know who you mean. With the big nose.
Yeah, Jason.
And the guy with the broken nose.
Yeah.
Jason Schwartzman.
Schwartzman. And Owen Wilson. And it's like Bill Murray. It's like that whole crew. Okay. But it seems like part of it seems interesting. But
this movie last year was phenomenal. It was called Moonrise Kingdom, which I absolutely loved. So don't go see this movie if you didn't go see Moonrise Kingdom.
Okay.
Because Moonrise Kingdom was so funny and so charming.
And is it Moonrise Kingdom where she sticks her head out the window and goes, don't you care that your daughters just want to run away? That's that movie, right?
Yeah, you were all about that movie.
Yeah, and it came up with the best original screenplay nom because it was so fucking good. And so this is his new one. So yes,
Tilda Swinton.
Go see anyone you want to, but please go see Moonrise Kingdom, or you have to rent it. But it was so good. So Alec Baldwin constantly in trouble for calling people cocksuckers and faggots, and oh my God.
And somehow he keeps being forgiven.
Well,
I mean, I know not right now, really, but like people just don't stop loving him, though.
Well, and the one thing is because even though his mouth runs off, and he clearly has an Irish alcoholic's temper, and he was clearly trained in the 1960s and 70s that the only slur you can really use another man is to call him a gay. It's got to be a gay thing,
right.
Like, this is clearly the world he grew up in. And the minute,
you big fag,
the minute he gets drunk, he goes right to type and just gives you. Like Grandpa with the colored people, you know what I mean? Like, just goes back to what he was raised with. But he's so supportive of gay rights.
Stick with what you know, Alec.
Yeah, he's so on.
Yeah, he is.
He's so on the right train with everything else except for his fucking mouth, and even
because he just has a bad temper.
Yeah, he really does.
He gets
he's
fucking pissed.
Typical Irish. I mean, absolutely typical drunk Irish. Calling his daughter a fat pig. Like, the guy just has no filter.
Oh, God.
Is she?
No, she's lovely. That's a good question.
Spade a spade. Come on.
Right.
Come on.
But you're bringing color into it again. Unintentional racism.
But I always I have to laugh that this guy, like, put down the Twitter. You don't need to play Words with Friends on the plane. Like, this is the person that you have to put your phones away because anything you say, you're just going to get in trouble.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's, like, his pro side is really kind of decreasing as his con side gets worse. So I was kind of proud that MSNBC didn't just suspend him. They were like, you know what, we can't all defend you anymore. We know your heart's in the right place, but at some point you have to get some control of your mouth. From me, this comes.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That's saying
like,
something.
hello.
Right. Pot Black. Have you seen me? So we've all been waiting for American Hustle to open with Jennifer
Yes.
Lawrence and Amy Adams and Christian Bale and Cooper. What's his name? Cutie Patootie. from-
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley
Oh,
Cooper.
he is a cutie.
Same people that did that other movie that
The
won.
Fighter and Silver Linings
Silver
Playbook.
Linings Playbook.
And David O.
Same
Russell.
actresses.
David
same
O. Russell
everything.
spanking the monkey. He's another one with just a long list of and it is about
Also,
literally spanking the monkey. Long list of great films, and now he's just come into his own. Where now he went from like the independent filmmaker that no one wanted to say, like, oh, don't admit you saw that. Like the Academy was never gonna nominate this fucker because he's so weird. Now all of a sudden it's a pedigree. When his movie gets released, they use the word pedigree as to like, well, it is a David O. Russell film. Well, it got screened for critics on Sunday for not just for the critics, but for the Screen Actors Guild. They did their screening on Sunday, and it was kind of mixed. Most of critics weren't allowed to write anything, but everything went out via social media, and there was a lot of like, great movie, need to see it again, kind of weird, kind of this, kind of that, but like everybody was like, and Amy Adams gets her. Not Amy Adams. Jennifer Lawrence gets her third Oscar nomination. But Amy Adams is in it and very good, but they're saying everyone else might have to jockey for position because
J-Law
because
is
the
so
movie
good.
is maybe not what it's supposed to be, but they're like, Jay Lawrence is a lock. Like whatever it is she's doing in this movie, it's better than anything.
She's
and on
become the thing.
Oh yeah. And she's always good, so I have to give it to her. Like, I think at home I have The Last House on the Left to watch, the horror movie she did a couple years ago. I want to tell you though, I'm on a brief reprieve because of the horrifying horror movie thing from last week. That movie,
The slasher.
Maniac.
Yes.
I have not been able to watch a horror movie since. Like, there's 2 horror movies sitting in my queue, and I'm like, oh, I can't. I can't watch anything else with blood or gore after that Maniac movie. That may have
'Cause it
been
took you to the
where
limit?
that story ended.
Wow.
My love for horror movies may have ended with that thing. Because that was
Isn't that something?
fucking scary.
Okay.
And so we were talking the other day, and Amy Adams' 4th Oscar nomination
Yes.
was for The Master. She does have 4.
Oh yeah.
So she's due.
so good.
So, I mean, it's a very exciting year. There's lots of women in big parts that are going to be nominated. There's lots of African-American movies that are out and actually making money, getting critical acclaim. Like, there's a lot of diversity coming into this year where it's not like we're searching for 4 supporting roles that we can pretend are best actresses.
Was it the Emmy? Is it the Emmys that where an African American woman has never won
Best
actress
in a drama, yes.
Yeah, where she should have won this past year. In my
Yeah.
IMHO.
And
in my humble opinion.
there's a lot of people that like that show.
I was on that.
I'm
thank
all
you.
what?
Yeah. There's a lot of people that really like that show and a lot of people that
no homo.
don't.
No
but that,
homo.
no.
No homo. But Homeland, unfortunately, and who can say that show is so almost off the rails.
So good.
They got the shark in their sights. They're just about to jump it, and just when you think, okay, I can't watch the show anymore, it's just ridiculous. They introduce a new plot that you're like, oh, I at least have to find out how this plot ends.
Yeah, they're good.
This season it's seriously like Smash meets Glee of like,
Oh.
what are you going for here?
Okay.
but way good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Because just when you think, all right, this is ridiculous, I have to turn this off. Then Jane Lynch comes on and says something funny. You're like, all right, I'm in for one more episode.
Well, and I'm in for, like, as far as the Glee stuff, like, I'm in for, I have 6 or 7 at home waiting.
Yeah, and it's the same show. It's kind of
Right.
funny. The parts in New York are much better. They really seem to focus more on that story.
The one, because I think the first one that I have of those 6 or 7 now is the one that's going to make me cry like a little bitch. And
That's
so,
the third one.
Oh, it is the third one.
Yeah, the
Okay.
quarterback is the third one. The
Okay.
first, it's like a Beatles tribute. This week they did a Billy Joel thing, and it was horribly
Yeah.
labored.
Okay.
I didn't like the Billy Joel.
But then they got a couple songs in that kind of made sense, and but I'm an Innocent Man, which is a song I never liked before.
I love that song.
And so
Okay.
they sang it.
Innocent man.
I was like, well, that's actually really pretty good.
yeah.
I love that song.
And then The Walking Dead.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay, I won't ruin it then.
Don't go there because I haven't watched it yet.
Just amazing. And we were completely lied to on The Talking Dead the week before. Like, oh, the lies, the mendacity.
I'm excited. I'm probably
Mendacity.
Bonzai.
It was crazy, crazy, crazy times. And that's pretty much all I got.
So, may I just?
Oh, and Mexico is joining us.
They were there for a while.
Hey, Mexico.
Mexico was listening for a while, and then they dropped off. The UK, but we got 2 from the UK. One that's just a generic Europe. It doesn't say what.
Oh, because it's European.
Well, yes, but
You've been calling to them.
The app that I use to determine where people are listening from, it usually shows the country and then the flag, and it just shows Europe with a little question mark. So I'm not sure exactly.
He's hiding out.
Maybe they're flying
right?
overhead.
So, speaking of Jennifer Lawrence, who was she really is phenomenal. She's going to be a first-time producer of one of my favorite books that I've ever read, and that's called The Glass Castle. I know she's read it. Have you guys ever read it? You'd remember. I mean, it's amazing.
No, I think I did a long time
amazing.
ago.
I remember the
It's an
Great
old
Glass
book.
Elevator, but that's totally different.
Totally different.
Okay.
Can you give us like a mini plot synopsis so I can remember if I read it?
So basically, it's about a young girl who grows up in Virginia, like the one of those mountains.
Appalachian?
Thank you. And I could not come up with that. So growing up there and just the immense poverty, just a tremendous poverty, and Jeanette Walls is one of the best authors.
Oh yeah,
her
I'm sure
writing,
because I know I've read a few Jeanette Walls books.
her writing,
or a couple.
and this gal,
I've read this,
She's
yeah.
like, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to do whatever I can, and ends up becoming, goes to New York and becomes incredibly successful.
Yeah.
And leaves that all behind. It's just, I'm done. And it was just the stories, and like I can still see it. I just can't describe it well enough, obviously. But The Glass Castle, if you...
I know I read it.
And I'm intrigued to see how they will bring that, because it's so descriptive. I think that they could just, kind of throw the book up in the air and it'll make its own movie. I mean, it's just brilliant. But the fact that Jennifer Lawrence is going to be a part of that really was exciting to me.
Very exciting.
It's her first time as a producer. She says, I don't know if I'll be any good at it, but I'm going to try it. So good for her. And
That's exciting.
Yeah, I think that... I think she's kind of the new thing in a big, big way, touching everything and just people following her, people getting pissed. I love it.
Yeah.
She's creating fights and
now
so,
I just
she's
heard
great.
that she was on Monk or something. I just saw something that she was. I don't know. At some point she was on that show Monk because I only know her
a long
from,
time ago.
I guess I don't know. I mean, not that long. She's only 23, but
It's been off for a while.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, Winter's Bone. I mean, that is.
Right?
Because that was her
where
first
she
thing.
started, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that is her tour de force, and that's one of those movies that you just cannot. She's a star, and there's a lot of people that have been acting for a long time. Like that cast is chock full of people that are like, oh, that person's in every single movie I've ever seen before.
Sure, she's like just that good.
And oh my god, and it's a brilliant movie about Appalachia. Okay. They're in the mountains of, I want to say, West Virginia, searching for her crack addict father. Yeah. Because they're trying to take their land away, and her father's been missing. So her and her two younger, and she's like 16 years old, and her and her two younger siblings have to go looking through crime-infested crack dens and backwoods to find.
That kind of sounds like a movie I'd really like.
No.
I'm watching the trailer right now.
And I've only been recommending it for every week of this show.
I've not ever seen it. I've not seen it, but I read. I read the book.
I heard the reviews on NPR when it first came out, and it went on and on. I donate every month so I can say things like that. I heard it on NPR. I donate every month.
Mine's PBS.
$5. $5
$5 every month.
I'm a $5 sustaining donor.
Yep. But yeah, I really want to see that movie. But
She's
how do you
so
rent
young.
movies anymore? How do I watch movies anymore?
Oh my god, do you have the internet?
iTunes.
I do have the internet machine at my home.
iTunes, Amazon.
Amazon. You can buy or rent anything almost on Amazon.
And then I have to watch on my computer.
Netflix.
If
you have an internet TV.
Do you have a?
I have a Wii. It's at her house. I can bring it back and watch it.
A Wii.
Okay.
Apple TV. Don't you have an Apple phone? You
can actually
get Apple TV.
I don't know what the hell
Or
that is.
you could take an
I will show you.
HDMI cable and plug your phone into your television.
TV.
That's what Apple TV does.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I do. My Blu-ray player has the internet.
Huh? You are very fancy people.
And it was less than 100.
Do you know that this entire broadcast is done via the interweb?
The interweb.
The interweb.
We are.
Thank you, Al Gore.
We're online.
Bonsai.
Bonzai.
Jennifer Lawrence is so young looking, by the way, in this Winter's Bone trailer.
Because she's still only 23 years old.
And that was
that movie's 3 or 4 years ago, and it was filmed without financing, and they shopped that around every festival. And now who's watching Dancing with the Stars?
I oddly caught the end. I caught the end of the other 2 nights ago.
We have been.
Because Amber Riley is in the top 3, so now I wish I was watching it.
We always watch it. This season we've totally dropped the ball,
We
did see who made it to the fucking final
Four.
four. What the
Bill
hell?
Engvall. We were
And
like,
he sucks balls.
Yeah, he's a horrible dancer, but it's his fans.
It's his fans.
Yeah.
He got
But
voted
it
off
is,
last night.
Because that's who
that
watches
makes
that
sense.
shit is
Yeah.
rednecks and us.
And I was surprised.
Rednecks and gays.
Even though I had heard that he was on by name, I didn't realize that was Osborne dancing. It's Jack.
Oh, Jack
Jack
Osborne.
Osborne.
Ah.
I'm like, wow.
Because
Somebody.
he's good, right?
Somebody.
I'm
No, it
impressed
wasn't
with
just that.
him.
It was
Yeah.
just somebody cleaned up their
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Now,
well,
did
that's
he-
what I mean. I'm impressed with him.
Yeah.
Not necessarily
He's-
just his dancing. He's
I
coming
haven't watched him
very
dance at
well.
all.
He's totally
He really was
sober.
bad.
He was
Yeah.
diagnosed with MS. He's
Yeah.
married with a child.
Yeah.
Like he's like an MS now spokesperson. He's like
and Ozzy
doing really
and
well.
Sharon sit in the audience, and Ozzy still doesn't know why he's there.
No.
All you have to do is watch him. He's like, "Who's that, Sharon? Sharon."
Now my question, because I just caught the headline today. So and I saw a pic, and they were clearly showing me a picture of Jack Osborne and Cheryl. Is he with Cheryl or something like that?
I believe so.
yeah,
Yeah,
and she's a big winner.
Yeah, she's a big
Because she
winner.
fucks
And
all
it was
her
one.
partners. Poor.
Well, yeah, no, she gets real mad about her.
So
She
my thing
does.
was with Dancing with the Stars is that I don't know which
Bonzai.
one's the dancer and which one's the star. So
Which makes it good.
So I saw that they said Jack Osborne. Well, I know who that is. I'm like, but who are these two people?
Right.
So then I flicked to another couple, and I'm like, okay, quit putting Jack Osborne's name. I know he's on the show, but show me Jack Osborne. So
That's what I was doing. I didn't realize it was
oh,
him.
you didn't realize
No.
that it was
No.
him from the
so
picture.
did he get that thin before the show started,
Yeah.
or through the
I
Oh,
course
yeah.
of
Yeah,
the
oh,
show?
absolutely.
He's lost weight still on the show too, as they
Sure.
all do.
Now does
Right.
Amber? Because I haven't seen.
Which
I
you
just saw
can't
the
help
headline.
by
Did
all the
Amber?
dancing.
Does Amber Riley? Does she lost weight?
As
it
far
work
as that
for her?
goes, I'm going to be honest with you. We haven't
Oh, you
seen
haven't
it for
seen
a
it.
little while.
I don't
but-
know. I mean, is that like deck chair off the Queen Mary? Would it matter?
No, I mean,
Oh my.
but even Sherry Shepherd at 4 weeks, she lost like 25, 26 pounds.
Okay, well then maybe Amber has done something. But when I saw her 2 nights ago, but when I saw her the other night, I'm like, oh, that's Amber. I would recognize
Sure,
that battleship anywhere. And
Oh my god!
I like her. I like her
The
a lot.
fatty at the end of the table is not sure how to
The
take all these
last
comments.
4 girls on the left.
That's
It's
she
Amber.
What do
meant-
you
she
say to
meant
the people
me,
you don't
so-
like?
And the young gentleman.
It's the turkey talking.
Bern-
I'm sorry.
Burnson.
Tryptophan.
What's his name? The other gentleman that's the third person.
Larry Gatlin.
No.
Who I'm looking it up right
oh,
now
yeah.
because I don't know.
Oh yeah, Corbin
Something-
Blue. Corbin Blue.
Okay.
He
From
Oh,
High School
isn't he
Musical,
from a
but then
Disney?
From also, what was he?
Adorable.
What is,
I never heard of him.
He's absolutely
yeah.
adorable, and he is beautiful, and he's a great dancer. Just amazing dancer.
Well, those Disney kids are cheating.
I think so. That's why I'm like, wait a minute. How
Well,
do
they
you
got
go
in-
up against Bill Engvall?
They got
and,
inducted
you know,
early
yeah.
into that brutal camp
That's
of.
Oh,
true.
he's lovely. I've
Oh,
never
he
seen him
is.
before in my
He's
life.
beautiful.
Oh my God, he's starring.
Oh, like I'm gonna watch any of
I
those.
think
We
you-
are at the
Broadway.
end of hour 2. They're talking about something on an iPad. I'm not sure. End of hour 2 coming up in just moments. Well, it's hour 3. We just go up one. It's kind of like time and dates.
Is that
still
plus one?
Coming up in just a second, Katie June's got her sports and politics and whatever else she wants to throw into the mix. Also, the last half hour of the show, as we do every week, a little thoughtful vulgarity. There's a couple other things we probably ought to talk about too, just because we can. It's our pre-Thanksgiving show. It's Q Talk America. This is the show with Clayton McKee. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You've been listening to the show on Q Talk America.
Okay.
This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Well, good evening. It is 9 o'clock in central Phoenix, Arizona. Actually, the whole goddamn state, it's 9 o'clock. So that's how we roll in Arizona.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. We are ready to go. 9 o'clock Tuesday night. It's the show with Clayton McKee on Q Talk America. That is me. Thank you for joining us. I am in studio. There's Katie June, Marnie Ryer, Aaron Henderson is with us, Al Perkins, and me, Ernie. I'm your humble hostess, Clayton McKee, on this Tuesday night. Thank you for being here. We've already been through a lot. We've got headlines and some entertainment. We already ate a full meal because it's our pre-Thanksgiving show, and Al was kind enough to throw together a meal in just moments.
It really was 30 seconds to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it really was. And then
and it was
Well done.
tasty.
And then
Yeah.
Katie stopped. We haven't delved into that
We have
yet.
not.
She's got some homemade whipped cream or Cool Whip,
Homemade.
whatever it
Okay,
is.
so it's a homemade pumpkin pie, fully homemade.
nice.
The edges of the crust are a
Well, they should be.
cooked
That's
through.
okay. That's
So
good.
just
That's
you can
good.
cut that shit off if you'd
Alright.
like to.
No, no, no.
But the pumpkin is good, and some homemade whipped cream and some canned whipped cream.
And
Oh, yeah.
Marnie's your mashed potatoes were delicious.
wonderful,
I
yes.
hear it
You like
was your
them?
first attempt.
Yeah.
It was my first attempt. I was
You succeeded.
I
They were
am
delicious.
excited. I just pictured what my mom does.
Yeah.
That's
and
good.
You, and
Mom's
you
does it
used
right.
the whole potatoes with the peel.
I used that. I did.
Yeah.
I
love
like
it with
that.
the-
Favorite.
I like it.
Some
with the
people don't
peel.
like it
Some
like
people
that, yeah.
don't, and I
Yeah.
thought, should
You get
I
your
ask?
fiber in that
Should I
way.
not? But I did the whole
Yeah.
true mash thing.
Oh, you did the mash.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh,
Got
that's
that
a little
real
workout.
Monster mash?
See, now,
It is.
and I because I don't really like mashed potatoes very much,
Oh.
but I make them because I want them to look pretty.
Right.
So I like to whip them into that buttery meringue.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
But I have one
Really-
spoonful and I'm done. But people come over and they're like, "Ooh, they're so," because I make them
Right.
light and fluffy.
and you mix it with,
like
well, it's all
marshmallows.
fucking butter. That's
Yeah,
why it's
and that's why they're so good. But
Bonzai
really,
butter.
I
they're
love
potatoes,
that.
But
so
these,
they're all
these
good.
were delicious, and I did my one
Hand
spoon.
sour cream butter.
You've said all my
Little
favorite
half.
words.
Yeah, oh yeah.
By the way,
So you're in the same fucking place. Hers just had some brown shit in it, and mine it's like a buttery meringue.
by the way, our drinking word is bonsai.
Bonsai!
Bonsai. So if you hear anybody say that, you'll
And
know
that's
why.
in honor of Donnie, because he may have already. Oh no, he hasn't left yet.
I thought he was already stateside. I thought he was already here. Our friend Donnie from Okinawa.
Oh, Donnie.
No, I
Not
don't think
yet.
till
I don't
December.
think.
Oh, I thought he
yeah,
was.
Well, it's just coming up on that, but it's
Oh,
next.
I'm sorry. I heard you say he was done, and I thought that meant that he had already.
Well, no, he's getting
got
done.
it.
He's
Got
in
it.
the
Got it.
process
Got
of
it.
finishing up.
He was in the chat room and made a comment that he's coming in.
Like the 16th or
That,
somewhere.
yeah, and then like that following Tuesday was
So,
hoping to come here.
which will be our
something.
last show of the year. Because
Yeah.
for those of you, plan ahead, make your plans. We are not doing shows. The first time we've stopped actually doing shows since we've been on the air, over 18 months. We will be doing no show on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, as those both fall on Tuesdays. And I'm pretty sure we'll all be busy doing other things. And who wants to sit and listen to us for 3 hours on a night like that? So fuck it.
And not just that, but kudos to you because we have not taken any time off.
Means
you have not taken any time off.
I have been to every show.
Bonsai!
Bonsai
Oh, yeah.
Cookie.
But
Yeah.
that was a man on a mission, and
Yeah.
I seem to have gotten through it. And thank you all for listening
Yeah,
out there and
absolutely. Thank you.
emailing us and commenting.
We are thankful
we're-
for you.
We're now getting people, which I think is so cool. In the middle of the week, they will hear a repeat of the show,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't always know what show they hear because we're on a repeat schedule. But we get posts and messages about, I just listened to X show and it was really funny. And I'm like, that show was 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that they listen to us and they still enjoy us, even though it may have been a topic from forever ago.
Well, and it's cool. Like I was telling you guys on Saturday night that my cousin was listening on his downtime at a layover and was texting me.
Yeah, that's
You know,
great.
I was asleep and he was texting me going, "Oh my God, no, this is actually the thing you were talking about,"
Oh.
or "Oh, this."
You
He's
told
like,
me
"I
that.
googled this. This is
Oh,
the thing."
that's right.
And it's just so cool
It was
that
right.
it's just cool. You know, he's like,
And
"You
he's
guys are
being
really."
interactive.
It was really fun. You know, it's like his layover.
And for
middle
all
of
the
the
people
night
that I don't
entertainment.
know, that I just randomly, they don't say that they listen or they don't,
They
give
don't admit
it,
to it.
they don't admit
They
to
don't
it.
admit to
Which we don't blame
All
you.
of a sudden, when I see them, they'll say, "Oh, there was that one. Yeah, you guys talked about that. Huh?
Yeah.
You're listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very-
So it's very cool.
It is very cool. So thank you all for doing that. But yeah, just keep in mind, we will not be doing shows Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve of this year because, well, we have other things to do.
That's right.
And at this point, let's go with Katie June.
Into sports and a little other stuff. David Pierce has a bit of Thanksgiving travel advice for women. Let your man drive, asshole. Bo Jackson makes a big surprise for a Paralympian on Arsenio. A Raiders fan literally saved a woman's life with his own body. And the Gap ad with a Sikh model draws lots of outrage.
Oh, in sports
and some other
stuff.
Oh, goodness.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That needs to be. That we need to make like a jingle for that. It's sports and other stuff.
Etc.
It's a grab
So-
bag.
It really is. We love ourselves some real honest to goodness male chauvinists. That's nice of them. Tampa Bay Rays pitcher. Not surprising that this is coming out of Florida. The Tampa Bay Rays pitcher, David Price, offered up some unsolicited advice to the women of America and tweeted, quote, "Everyone that's traveling for Thanksgiving, please be careful. Driving conditions will be rough with these storms. Ladies, let your man drive."
Oh.
Yeah. Thanks to this misogynistic travel tip, it went over about as well as the 1-0 cutter he threw to the Red Sox slugger David Ortiz in the bottom of the first inning. In the 2013 ALDS, several women on Twitter knocked his tweet out of the park. Oops.
Well,
Bonsai.
Bonsai.
That's right.
Oops.
Yeah.
Sorry, officer. I was applying my lipstick. I just didn't see him. Was that his pitching arm I broke? Or warning, I'm going to be endangering lives driving home since David Price thinks women aren't capable of driving in adverse weather. Or holiday sexism at its best. Professional athlete says idiotic sexist thing on social media. It literally goes on and on and on. One woman I wrote retweeted him, but wrote, "It's funny because chicks can't drive." It's so women were loving it. Just kind of an a-hole.
Yeah, no kidding.
Seriously.
Kind of a misogynistic.
I hope he
a-hole.
finds a what are they called? Sinkhole?
You know, and
There's
like,
a lot of those in
Bath
Florida.
salt. Let him take a bath salt in a sinkhole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, and he was not apologetic. He went on to continue tweeting about holiday travel.
Did he also bring up 1950 barefoot and pregnant? Did he also bring up all of that in a tweet?
It's possible.
And maybe a new kitchen? I don't know. There's all
right.
these things that he could have added to this.
Exactly. Like, don't drive, make me a pie. Ooh, so, never fear that sexism is alive and well, especially in Florida. So Arsenio Hall has his talk show back.
It's
right?
back, yes.
So it's been back
And
for
because
a while.
because Black Don't Crack, he looks exactly
He really does.
like
he literally
he did.
looks the same.
Yeah.
And I actually
paying attention to my Arsenio Hall arm.
Yeah.
I never watched that show.
Okay, so when I was younger,
I did a few times.
I
Racist.
watched it because it was on in the what? I mean, it was on in like the late 80s, early 90s, and like I
You were 2.
well, just about. But I would watch it, and it was not a bad show, but it was kind of my guilty pleasure. It was kind of like it came on before I was totally in bed, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought I was cool because I was watching this guy, you know, Arsenio do his woof woof woof.
So like your Wendy Williams of the day.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally. It was like my connection to the African American culture.
If there was a celebrity,
Yeah.
if they advertised a celebrity I
Right.
liked, I would watch
Bill
it.
Clinton
Yeah.
coming on.
There's
and
Exactly.
whatever,
There's
yeah.
just not a lot that's going to draw me away from Letterman. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I actually I watched not The Apprentice. Is it? Yeah, The Celebrity Apprentice, and Arsenio Hall was on, and I really
Yes.
liked him.
Yeah,
He was
I
Actually,
really
forgot.
good that season.
really good.
Yep,
He was like a nice guy, like a good team player, really cool. So when I found out he was getting a show back, I was actually really excited for him. I think it's actually going pretty well. People are watching it. I don't know exactly what the ratings are, but I've seen positive articles about it. So anyway, there was a Paralympian, Blake Leaper, recently on the show. He is a sprinter. He was a silver medalist in the 2002 Paralympic Games.
Is that really his last name?
Leaper, yes, it is. Blake
Wow.
Leaper.
Who'd have thought that?
Yeah.
No, I
legs.
just think it's funny that
The
that's his
Leaper.
name and he's a Paralympian.
I
Yeah.
saw the look on your face.
I
and
thought
I
he was
you're
going to be
like,
like
yeah.
a leper.
No.
Well, not just that, but sprinter, really? You know, so let it.
Well, it's like we have a friend named Sharon who was never mind. I'll tell you later.
So anyway, he was talking about, he was of course on the show talking about his about when he was on the Olympics and and talked about that Bo Jackson was literally his childhood hero. That he talked about what it would mean, about what it meant growing up, idolizing him, and just how much he really meant to him. So Arsenio asked Leaper to show his running blades, and they said, "Oh, someone bring out your running blades." And Bo Jackson came out
that's so
holding the
cool.
blades.
Oh, that's
And it
hot.
took the guy a
awesome.
second. I will post it to our Facebook page because it is like the coolest
Gives me the-
video.
yeah.
So this guy, he's a freaking Olympian, and all he wants to do is see this old retired athlete, And so he walks out with, and the guy looks over and takes him a minute, and he just like totally, this is so excited, huge smile, and it was
He almost jumped out of his chair.
oh my. Not quite, but it was really,
Really?
it was very exciting.
Really?
What?
And we're back to the Leaper joke.
He said, "I want to say thank you for never giving up. It wasn't
Almost.
for you, I wouldn't be here today. You inspired me who I am. You inspired me to be who I am, to get out there regardless of who you are, regardless of your disability." So it was just so
And then
so
he's saying
cool.
you'll never walk alone. Is that weird? Jesus.
I don't know how that goes, but do you want to chime in? Yeah.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll sing
You'll
it
never
later.
walk alone.
It's from the absolute
Made that
worst
up.
musical ever made, but if you can make it through, you'll never walk alone without crying. You're like, God damn it, this musical sucked, and I'm sobbing like a little girl.
Oh, what is it?
It's from not Carnival. It's from
Because Carnival's pretty bad as well.
It is.
Well, the worst part about that show is when Jerry Lewis did
State Fair.
the muscular
State
dystrophy
Fair?
telethon.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of-
Carousel. It's from Carousel.
At the end of every MDA telethon, that was the big shtick. Was Jerry Lewis would sit on the stage and sing "You'll Never Walk Alone." It's Jerry, whatever. Yeah,
And he would sing a horrible version of
yeah.
it.
But he brought in $1 million. Who cares?
That's fantastic.
So in the second act of Carousel.
I'm sorry. Second act of Carousel. Is that where that song came from? I didn't realize that's where it came from. I never.
I don't even know Carousel.
It's
Not
just-
worried about it.
Well, it's got a couple good. Got a couple good songs, but it's a really terrible musical.
So, were you done with that, or was there
I
more
was.
to that
No,
story?
there was.
I'm
That
not trying
was
to
it.
interrupt you, but
no,
I thought that was cool.
No. Yes. There was additionally a Raiders fan who literally broke a fall with his body and
Heard
saved a
this.
life.
And is now in the hospital.
I actually, and this is like a little bit interesting the way that they wrote this. Police praised a football fan for saving the life of a woman who jumped from the third level deck of the Raiders home stadium by breaking her fall. The woman, who was not identified, was critically injured after plunging about 45 feet at the something Coliseum. She jumped shortly after the Raiders 23-19 lost to the Tennessee Titans, and fans were filing out of the stadium. But it makes it literally sound like she thought, "Oh God, I can't
go
take
on."
this
Right,
loss.
no.
I'm
We've
just,
lost, but they're very serious. in
I'm
Oakland
ending
about
it
their
all."
Raiders. That wouldn't surprise me if one of them actually jumped to her death.
Actually, it wouldn't surprise me if someone threw the other team's fan
Oh,
over.
yeah.
I don't.
but-
Yeah.
That
No
seems-
offense, Raiders fans, but
I mean, I don't know. It
creepy.
seems a little more serious. This guy though saved her life at his own expense. She would be dead if. So what happened is this guy is standing there. He sees her climb up. He's like happens to catch this woman's, catch his attention. Is caught by this woman, and he sees her go up to the concourse level, which is covered by tarp because it was closed. And she climbs over the edge, and he's literally standing under her yelling, "Don't do it, don't do it." He was a former Marine. So he's kind of just a badass in general.
I love that.
A Raiders season ticket holder.
Yeah. So
and,
again, partial serial killer.
right.
Let's paint the picture of what a Raiders
So
fan is like.
he was like standing underneath her and ran to where she was and lunged underneath her body, broke the fall. They both went to the hospital with critical injuries, but she didn't die. So
The bad thing would be if she lived and he died.
Oh, it'd be
Right.
Then you'd be like,
fucking bitch.
yeah, fucked hard.
Yeah.
Now, a year later, they're going to be engaged, married, and they'll get married in that fucking stadium.
and they'll have a reality show.
Yeah.
But
They're gonna
On
parachute
TLC.
off that same.
as they were talking about that, because a Buffalo Bills fan fell off the deck recently, and they were naming like all the different times that they were fall. So then they started to ask it wasn't the NFL commissioner, but it was someone that like is in charge of stadiums, like
A stadium official.
Yeah, it was
Said
someone who was a
Wednesday.
spokesperson, and he's like, "Well, there's not that many." It was just enough that you could tell that it was like, well, it's not statistically important, but there's a lot of deaths.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
people at the Metrodome in Minnesota. It's like vertigo. I mean, as you're going up, it's a little
Oh,
creepy.
it's really, yeah, I get freaked out when I'm up that high.
Yeah. Or at ASU Sun Devil Stadium.
Yeah,
if
Sun
you guys
Devil's
have been
big.
there in the second
The upper
tier.
deck.
Oh my God.
I don't even really care for it when I go to see a concert at US Airways.
Yeah, it's
because
way
if
too
you're
high.
higher up there, you
All right, first off,
Outside of
I
that
have a job,
first
so I'm not
level-
sitting in those seats.
Well,
Right.
and I have before because I'm a social worker.
I did for a Suns game.
But where as you're going up there, and not that you're hammered, but you're having any kind of cocktails,
And that's what they were
or
saying.
My God.
soda or water. I mean,
No,
it
no,
is
no,
like,
and you're
yeah.
right, but add to it,
Right.
Just add alcohol.
Because they were
really.
listing the outdoor stadiums,
Yeah.
and Minnesota doesn't have a stadium yet, right? There's still
Not
collapsed.
no, well, not yet, but
Okay,
almost.
So they were talking because theirs
The
was
season, yeah.
No, theirs was in a dome. They were in a dome, right?
Right.
They were in a dome. So they were, and I can't because it's Indianapolis is still outside. Foxborough.
No, Indianapolis is not outside.
No, that's right. That's why they can have a Super Bowl.
Chicago is.
Chicago is, Buffalo is, the New England Stadium is outside. That used to be Foxborough, but now it's Gillette, right?
Yes, something like
Gillette
that.
Stadium.
Uh-huh.
So they're listing all these places. So you get in the storms this week have been
Oh, sure.
craziness.
Sure.
So they're saying you get a Buffalo Bills fan in the upper deck, and it's one of the biggest pro football only stadiums in the country. The
Yeah.
Ralph Wilson is still huge. You get terrible weather, outdoors, drunk,
Right.
And it could be rain, sleet, snow. They keep
God
right on
only-
playing.
yeah, God only knows
So
what.
the spokesman was saying the fact that there's not more of them should encourage you that it's safe. And you're like, oh my God, this guy's terrible. Like he just kept phrasing everything like there's a lot of them, but there could be more. Don't get too worried.
People can slip and fall all the time.
If it's not your cousin or aunt, everything's fine.
The ratio.
that means you can't sue us.
The ratio
Good.
of people that get out alive to the ones that die is very
That
vast.
was exactly how he was selling it.
There are 57,000 people in there.
If one or two
falls,
die,
Yeah.
really, who's
Yeah.
counting?
Still safer than an
If
elevator
one
ride.
falls
It
in
was
the
one of
stadium, will anyone
funniest
really hear
That's
him?
awesome.
interviews I have
well,
ever
and
watched.
Gamage too, because I always
Oh,
buy.
I won't. I
buy good seats when I
Yeah.
go to a show. Otherwise, I don't want to sit in the very back.
yeah,
but
don't-
I let a friend buy seats one time, and she really went for the cheap seats.
That's how I ended
we
up
were
in
in
that-
like the
that section.
last fucking row on the top level at Gamage, and I thought I might die. I really and there's no drinking involved there. I was just like
I
walking
was up there
the
way
aisle.
at the top for Miss Saigon. I didn't know that they were all Gemini. Anyway, go ahead.
No, it's the honest to God truth.
Well, because I was squinting. I was like,
It is far
Well,
as
no,
shit away.
I worked there for
Bonzai.
8 years at Gamage,
Yeah, Bonzai.
and you
It is
have to
so
walk like
so steep.
if you're upstairs, you get assigned to a portal when you're just a floor manager or whatever. And if you're assigned to those top ones, you have to help people with their seats all the time. That's scary shit. The first row of the tier and the balcony still scare the hell out of me.
Yeah, people. I'm surprised people aren't dying
And
at
both,
Gamage.
both times is when I use the phrase, well, you get the tickets. Whatever you pick is
Right.
fine.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, they probably made a movie of this that we could actually see because first off, they're 30
They're
miles
bad
away.
seats, yeah.
And I love it because I go to Gamage so much and if you're there for like, because they don't rehearse in the space very much.
Opening night sucks balls. Never go opening night.
Yeah,
at
don't try
Gamage,
not to go opening
ever.
night. But you see the look on their face because they don't put the stage in and rehearse it
Yeah,
once.
they
Oh, they
load in.
don't?
They load in like the night before.
Yeah, they load.
that right?
They
Oh,
load
yeah.
in that night, and unless there's something specific, and usually they'll only change something for a smaller space. And Gamage is so huge that they don't really. They're like, take as much, twirl as many times as you want to,
Right.
money. But you watch like a big name star come out and look at that third balcony and be like, oh, this is useless. I
Yeah.
can't play to them.
Right.
Like the subtleties of stage acting are not going to make it
no,
to
they're
Nebraska.
yeah. It's
well,
bad.
and
And
at
you just see
Gamage-
that look come over their face.
And at Gamage, for instance, anything like that, wherever you are, I'm sure. But up there, truly, for Miss Saigon, you get to see everything that's going to be happening.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
'cause
where
you can
you
see-
are, like you
You can see tomorrow.
No, but I mean, you
I
see
know.
everything that's happening on the stage and underneath and
And on the
beside
sides,
and everything. You're
right.
like,
And you don't realize there's a helicopter in the whole show because it's underneath where you
exactly.
are. Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like
Chandelier and Phantom, you don't see that from all the
No,
way
and
up.
Oh,
I
I
The
that was,
understand.
chandelier in Phantom. I did go on the opening night of Phantom once to Gamage whenever it was here when I was like young, and
It's here like every 3
so
years.
da 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 da. It's like da 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 da, and that's going up. I'm just throwing your opera for you, and it's
you.
raising
That's
up,
not opera.
and it just stops. It's my version, and then fucking all the lights turn on. And the show is like done for a while, and they come on and they're like, "Shh, there's been a technical difficulty. There's going to be a short, 30-minute intermission." I mean, it was like a long ass intermission, and they asked everyone like to respectfully leave the state, like leave the area, so that they could totally reset the thing. And we came back just before the chandelier goes up again. We had to like watch that whole scene again, and then it raised. It was
that
interesting.
was really, yeah.
and the first
Spoiler alert: there's
Yeah.
a chandelier
Well,
in
when we-
Phantom.
The first time I ever saw that show was in the nosebleed section where I let someone else buy the tickets, and I was like, all right, this is just crap.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of the worst shows I've ever sat through.
Also, it's just Phantom.
and then I was like, well, maybe it's my seats. Like, you know what I mean? The one song is pretty, but the wrong character sang it. So I'm like, well, this isn't going really well.
See, I love a
so I
little-
thought maybe that's why it was so bad. So I got tickets for a couple nights later, a little bit lower down. I'm like, oh, this is one of the worst. This is
So
one of
bad.
the worst things I've ever
Yeah.
seen, besides Miss Saigon and Cats.
we
Cats.
went to
Cats.
I did the best.
we went to Lion King. You're
The
correct.
magical Mr. Please do.
An interesting evening of cabaret
Bonzai.
with like 3 good
Love
songs,
it.
Oh,
When we went
Jesus.
to
and that's been kind.
Lion
That's
King just
non-equity.
recently, it was last
Which
month
is-
today.
Amazing.
We were sitting there off to the side. On either side are the percussion,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, in the box
Right.
seats. They
Uh-huh.
take up the first couple box seats.
Well, interestingly enough, if you look straight across, like, because we were on the far left side, stage right, I don't know what the fuck ever.
The back
And,
side of Gamage, it's called. That's the backside portal.
that's where we were, and if you look across, I kept looking over there, and I was very.
Were you in box seats?
No, we were in like row 19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm looking over at the apparently percussion, because at the time I didn't know what the fuck was happening, and there's a little light on them, and the way that it looked like someone had left a big TV on, and it was a cooking show. I mean, just the way you see it, I had no idea, and I look at her and I go, what the fuck is happening over there? What is that?
And that's where the birds come from too, because you really should see the
You have
Lion
to see
King
from the tier.
from the first tier, because you have to see. Otherwise, everything goes on around you. Because nothing's
right
on a fucking
underneath.
stage.
Then you don't get to see all the animals.
Yeah, but I was
come
parade
in.
out.
No, but if you
If
get
you're
the,
on that first row,
From where you are.
that's front row balcony.
Lion King was here six years ago, maybe, and as they were entering, a bird was coming in and fell on the ground. The whole person, the person and the bird, they were twirling all the way down.
See.
It was very funny, but not
I
funny.
would've
They
loved-
were okay, but it was very funny.
Where did they fall from?
People
They
fall
were running down
It's
the
fun.
steps, like running to the stage. When the birds enter, the people are running and they circle the birds, and they were circling the birds, and he tripped and he just fell.
I thought
that-
you found, because the one
Oh
cool
no,
thing,
that's the antelopes on the
because
on the
Gamage
tier.
has so much space that there's people in the boxes flying those birds over the audience and stuff. And actually, I saw it on Broadway, and I saw the two world's worst child actors in our nation's history.
Really?
Oh my God, I wanted them to retire or die as soon as possible. They were terrible. I was
let's
like,
stick with
please,
retire.
Please tell me they
'Cause they're
aged.
children.
Please tell me they grew up to be somebody else later.
Right.
And it was. It grew up to be a fabulous girl. Can't think of her name. Lena. No.
Yes, good story.
It'll come to me. Headley. Heather Headley. She grew up to be Heather Headley, and she was
from,
phenomenal.
Aida.
Yeah. So when it came through in Gamage and they had better kids, I'm like, oh, this show was really good, because we hated it. Like the entire row of us, we had all done the cancellation line. So we waited outside for like hours and hours and hours. We all got in on cancellation. We had really good seats. And we as a group, because we had gotten to know each other so well in the cancellation line and become friends, we all took a vote as to like, should we just walk out of this because it's that bad? And like half of them did, and Matt and I were like, well, we don't really like to walk out of anything,
Right.
So we'll stay.
Stick through it.
And he was like, he's like, the kids grow up. The good thing is there's two other actors in the second act. They're gonna play those kids. They were horrible.
That's
Horrible,
sad.
horrible.
That is sad.
Sad face. Okay, one more quick thing
Well,
in
we got a
sports
whole
and other stuff.
long trek on that one.
Gap. Okay, so Gap is so fucking cool. By the way, Gap, the company.
Fall into the gap.
And I love the way that this article starts this is how the internet is supposed to work. So Arslan, okay, I will pronounce this completely wrong. Arsalan Ikfatar, a senior editor at the Islamic Monthly and founder of themuslimguide.com, posted a picture to his Twitter and Facebook wall of a defaced Subway ad for Gap featuring a Sikh actor and jewelry designer Waris Alwalia. The caption had been changed. Their new Gap's new campaign this season and this winter is "Make Love," which I have already seen some of the ads and I think it's awesome. This one featured this image. So to give you a little idea, it's a Sikh man, and Sikhs wear the turbans and they have the beards and
How
the
do you
facial
spell
hair.
Sikh?
Sikh. It's
There's an E-N and I thought.
Sikh. It's Sikh. Yeah. So and then this other and then appears to be Caucasian, but could be Middle Eastern of some sort. Beautiful woman, white with brown hair. So it's the two of them, and then it says "Make Love." So someone had gone onto in a subway terminal and defaced it and crossed out "love" and wrote "bombs." So instead it said "Make bombs" and then wrote "Please stop driving taxis." Wrote it on the poster. He told the Huffington Post, when I first saw my Facebook friend's photo of this Gap subway ad defaced by vandals, I wanted the world to see how millions of people are still viewing brown people in America today. So he wrote, vandals have done this, and posted the picture. The next day, Gap tweeted back to Qatar to find out the location of the ad, which was part of its holiday campaign. And it says, "At the Muslim Guy, hi there, thanks for informing us. Please let us know where this is." They additionally changed the background of their Twitter account to the picture, to this ad, to the picture of the Sikh guy and this woman Gap did. And just, to kind of in solidarity. They've changed their Facebook update. They've been tweeting about it and kind of reposting. The response was applauded by Sikhs and Muslims alike because it was so fast. It was such a fast response and so much support.
There wasn't a committee and there wasn't a meeting
Right.
and
There
wasn't
was
a bunch
no
of shit. And
board.
then
They were just
6
like,
months
this is
later,
bullshit. We're
right,
up. We're going to post this.
They called it out right then. Yes.
Some members of the Sikh community have started a Thank You Gap campaign to show their appreciation of this Sikh model. And people are taking their kids. I think it's cool. People are taking their kids and posing their children
in front of it.
in front of this picture.
Oh, wow.
You
That's
know, like,
cool.
and it's a
That
little
is
Sikh
cool.
boy with
Yep.
another little girl. I mean, it's just cool. And it's like this guy said, this is how the internet is supposed to work. You're supposed to see bad shit, call it out, and people can rally and say, let's
Right.
get behind these people. Anyway, this guy happens to also just be like incredibly handsome. He's an actor. He's always on the best dress list. He's a regular in art and fashion circles in New York. Very cool dude. So it's nice to hear a positive story of
Yeah, it is.
racism, reverse racism, I guess, in America. And that is the end of sports.
It's-
Just kidding.
Oh.
Just one
kidding.
quick thing. For my birthday,
Yes.
Aaron had called the Minnesota Vikings, which is a damn lie, but how fun is
But I
this?
did.
To ask them to win. Now,
They came so close.
They came super close.
Against the Packers.
It was the Packers,
At
Vikings
Lambeau
Packers
Field.
game at Lambeau, and the whole thing it comes down to is really, well, we suck, and so the cool points would be that anytime we play the Packers, like we could have the worst season, which we are, and if we can beat the Packers just once,
It's like winning the Super Bowl.
and if we beat
Listen to
them
me sound
twice,
like a real football fan.
yeah, if we done, I'd die and go to heaven, it's fine, but well, die and go somewhere. Couldn't quite pull it off, so we had the first tie since 1978, which was the last tie. Tie football game. Tie NFL football game.
Which means that the Vikings would have been 2-9 as of Sunday, but instead they're 2-8 and 1.
Oh.
And the Packers,
I
the
just-
Packers didn't get to add to their first number. They
That's
have
right.
still have the same first number, the same second number, and a 1.
And a
afterwards.
one.
Suck it, Packers.
Suck it, Packers. That's
Dude,
right.
and there
I
was
love this
very
game so
Listen
much.
to
nearly,
me.
very
I sound
nearly
football
2
person.
ties because
Yeah, the Broncos
They don't go
game
into
too.
overtime
That's
or
right. We
anything?
did.
they do.
do.
But there's only one. There's sudden. It's
There are new rules with overtime this year.
But not only
Ooh,
slightly.
Aaron, look at you.
But
I
only.
know.
killing me.
But there's still only one. You still only have one quarter to do
Right.
it.
So
15
there's
minutes,
15
right.
minutes.
Okay.
And it's
Which is a long time.
And it's whoever scores the first
Football years.
touchdown.
Oh my God.
Whoever scores the first touchdown. So it's not a matter.
No, but the other team has another chance.
Right, because so the
You get-
Packers got the ball first, and they had to go down. If they scored a touchdown, they win. Done.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no.
And
The
then
other
we have
team-
a chance
Right.
to come back
The
and score a
other-
touchdown.
right,
And
that's
then
the new
go
way.
from there. They kicked a field goal. We came back. We kicked a field goal. So now somebody has to
Nobody
score a
Still
touchdown.
do something.
So they trudged back down the field, and we stopped that. So it's all fine, and then time ran out.
26-26.
26-26.
Wow.
So
And it was the first.
we didn't lose.
They said
so
it was in
happy birthday to me.
2012. They said,
Happy birthday to you.
So next
Bonzai.
week, Bonzai.
learn how to make your wishes next time. I don't want them to lose. I want them to win.
No.
that's good.
I
It was
didn't
me.
make the
It was
wish.
me.
Oh,
My
okay.
my
fault.
birthday wish on Saturday was that this go faster.
The food
For you
service at the
Again,
restaurant.
I had
That
a,
was my wish,
I
and
had
it
a
did not
lovely
We
go
didn't
time.
faster.
notice.
We
We
didn't
really
notice.
we did not notice.
Neither did Clayton.
No.
Yeah.
No, he did. Definitely
I
did.
noticed a lot.
So, and now that
Yes.
concludes sports
Sports
and
and
other
other
stuff.
But the last tie was in 2012. I had to look it up.
Right. No. The last Packer Viking
Oh,
tie.
okay,
I
I gotcha, I
apologize.
gotcha.
Does everybody
1978.
Yes.
Well, sure we do.
Thanksgiving pie.
Before we go
weird.
into our thoughtful vulgarity segment, I just want to touch on one thing, and I know that you saw it, Al. And it is posted on our Facebook page, so if you want to take a gander at it. Remember last week when Al gave us the quiz about the colonies in the States?
Yeah.
No, just the colonies.
Yeah, just the colonies.
Well, and then didn't we go into...
He told you to go. Well, we drew the map and
Yeah,
where
okay.
everything is.
Well,
Right.
They decided to give that quiz to the Brits.
Oh.
The Brits did it, and they don't live here, so they got a reason to not know it. But we live here. If you go to our Facebook page, there are like 8 pictures of the map. They gave them maps, printed maps, and they had to then write in and fill in all of the state names. Like in one of them that was a really bad attempt. All they got was California and Texas. That's all they got out of the whole thing. So then you go to other maps, and then you've got they thought they got. Mostly all right. Then they think Arizona's New Mexico. They don't know if Missouri and Arkansas are flipped. And it goes up. One's called Thingy. But if you go along,
I love that.
My favorite one is when there's South Dakota, and then below it is further South Dakota.
killed
the
me.
funniest goddamn
That's
thing.
fantastic.
Funniest thing.
I love it.
Further South Dakota, but they go through all kinds of. They have New Mexico up where Kansas is. They've got Kansas where Missouri is. They moved all of it around. It's so funny to see what they wrote in some of them. And one of them even apologized for their spelling of Albuquerque.
I love Squaresies. The one was like Squaresies because you're like, why is this one square?
And then there's one where I believe it's what the fuck is that state? So there's Missouri, and then is it Iowa? What's above Iowa?
Minnesota.
Okay, so there's that whole thing, and none of them is filled in, and it says the Midwest ceased to exist.
Yeah. The Midwest ceased to exist.
Well, they just froze and fell off.
And that was another. I was looking through that, and I'm like, you know what? I still don't know the Canadian provinces.
He wrote
Go to Nova Scotia.
one of them.
Again, no,
Ontario.
it's not. Based on, but it's Anne Marie.
One of them knowing that Canada is north of us, wrote arrows above the entire United States and wrote Nickelback, Celine Dion, and Huskies.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Oh, it was
That's
very,
funny.
very funny. Yes, it is.
Good
Well,
stuff.
Katie and Aaron are bringing all kinds of stuff into the studio now. Are we foodies?
We are.
I guess now.
Wow.
Since no other shows are on Q Talk America, I guess we're the food show now.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
We're just bringing it all together.
Oh my God. There we go. This is all healthy.
Well, that's the way of the room.
Yes.
I'm sure it'll work out. Al,
Some are a little
are we
bit
ready
bigger
to
than
take this thoughtful vulgarity for a ride?
Well, I just have to say, I never told you Nova Scotia wasn't a.
I thought you did last week.
No, you were trying to pass it off as a colony.
That's true.
No, I wasn't. No.
Or a city, or maybe a city.
No. I was saying that
Are we
was,
looking for a
and
city?
you were like, no, and I'm like, well, Anne Marie is from there. That's the only reason
No,
I know it.
it's a province. God knows what I thought you were
okay.
saying, but it's a
Oh,
province.
okay.
Because I was like, I'm
Cream.
I'm-
Oil.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's one of the ones I know.
No, I'm like, what?
What?
Love her.
Okay, so now we're ready for thoughtful
Anne Marie,
vulgarity?
that is.
Yeah, we got a long time.
Okay, here we go. God.
Yeah, compared to our
And
7.
now, thoughtful vulgarity, where we, in the studio, try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel and have them try to answer it while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when an important question comes up 90 minutes after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? You're fucked up. What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? You've been warned. Good luck.
All right, so we'll do the gimme because of the time and day.
Oh, Christ.
I was hoping.
But let's make it fun. What's something that you thought you were thankful for, but you're like, no, not really. So glad that shit's gone.
Bonzai.
That makes that more funner.
He's way happy about that. He's way happier.
That's
I like it. Well, Aaron, you're
first in line there.
Wait, was that for real, the question?
Yeah.
Something you thought was really going to work great and it just went to shit.
My house.
Oh my God, that was actually very easy for you.
Bonsai.
Did I mention I have a leaky roof after last week?
Yes, you
Yes.
did. Well, you didn't mention it here on the show, but you did. Oh, no, you're up. What'd you do?
It went off.
Well, I don't know what you did. Oh, I've sprayed stuff on me. God damn it. What did you press and hold until it turns green?
I know. Here you go. I don't know what happened.
Or did it die?
It just went red. I think it died.
Oh, if it went red, then no, it's done. Give it to me.
It died.
Give it to
So
me.
yeah, I woke up this weekend with all the rain, and I love the rain. It makes me so happy. So I woke up Friday morning and went to the bathroom, and it was raining inside my house. And then
It's raining on prom night.
Yes, and then Saturday morning it was raining in my house in 2 places. So that's that. Yes, my house.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's actually such an easy question
And because
for you.
since my house was built in 1942
You get it.
or 7, every time we have rain like that, which is not very often, but when we get the entire year's rain in one day, I was like, please God, don't let this be the time that the roof finally decides it doesn't work.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is it the white-ish substance all over you?
Oh, I want that real shit too.
here in front of you.
Hello?
Oh, yes.
It's one. She's got to put it back in that bracket first. It's gonna be a bitch.
Wait for it. Sorry for the noise.
No, you shut off.
No, you don't.
There you go. Yes, I do.
Oh, just kidding. Yes, you do.
And
And
See,
there you go.
and I'm back on.
Technical fucking miracles
yes.
here every day.
Well, I knew that's the one thing that the home inspector found was the roof when they inspected it. He didn't find anything
So
else.
why didn't they fix
but
it?
he did find the because it was I was in a bidding war for this house.
He
Yeah.
is the worst home inspector
Ever
ever.
in the history of the universe. And
That's
I
true.
hate him.
Uh-huh.
And the fact that you had to like bid for the house, so you paid more for it than you should have.
You had to pay this guy.
So then Saturday night I'm sitting on my couch and I hear this. Oh no, Friday night I'm sitting on my couch and I hear the drip, drip, drip in the bathroom, and then all of a sudden I hear a new drip that's drip, drip, dripping 3 times as fast, and it's in the living room, but it never went through the ceiling. So there's something hanging out, water, a leak.
Oh, sucks.
So that's all. But I am thankful for my girlfriend whose birthday it is in just a couple hours. Very thankful.
Hooray.
Because she's gonna learn how to fix roofs soon.
She already fixed my floor. Roof is just
no,
kidding.
no, head to toe. So no, actually, I had already. That's what I texted her back. I don't fix that shit. I can't fix that shit. What am I thankful for that didn't work out?
That you're not thankful for anymore.
You're thankful it did not work out.
That's even better. What are you really grateful crapped out on you?
As opposed
Oh, can we bring relationships?
Oh,
into
of
it?
course. Nothing is off limits in Studio C.
Well, I
Oh, well,
like
then I have a
that.
better answer too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you got a couple relationships to talk about
Oh,
too.
no,
There,
no,
Randy.
My
Yeah.
ex-husband. Yeah.
That's the first thing that came to my mind. That's
My
the first thing
ex-husband,
that came to my
who
mind.
was a nice person, but just the world's most immature person.
It's a lot like her house. Just kept falling apart.
It's really nice on the
Bonsai. Where'd the
outside.
bell go? Bonsai. Oh, it's right
It's
fucking in
hidden
front of me.
behind
Wow.
And I'm the
It's hidden behind
designated
the turkeys.
driver.
Yeah, it's hidden behind the turkeys.
All right, your turn.
Well, obviously those relationships. Just thank God, just done. And not for the present solely, but just because Jesus Christ, they really wore me out. Those relationships that did not work. You put so much into them, and you're like, and at the time you're like, I'm so thankful for this. Yay, this is so goddamn. And then you look back and realize that, oh, what a waste of energy and time. So
Time. That's what
and
it
you
pisses me
can't
off.
get it back. You're
'Cause
like, really?
I waste enough of my own time. Please do not try to help me.
As do I. Exactly.
Please
You
don't make
just
this
took
worse.
3 years of my life, So yeah, I know that's such a seemingly an easy answer to just say, the past relationship, but fuck, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad that's done. Sweep that shit under
So
the
am I.
rug and bye bye. Exactly. I mean, I'm like I said, for reasons of now, but yeah, just
Yeah.
get out. Get out. That's exactly what I said after
Get
some tequila at
out
Hamburger
of
Mary's.
my
too.
dreams.
I
Out of
really-
my fucking life
Yeah.
and into my car.
No,
Yes.
exactly. Well played. I like it. We brought Billy Ocean back in.
Billy
Always.
Ocean.
Yeah.
Can't be thankful without
Exactly.
Billy fucking Ocean.
How about you, dear?
I
you
don't know.
thankful that
I don't have an
fucking
answer to
walked
this
out?
question.
What about Nantucket?
No, I loved Nantucket.
And they all loved
And
her.
they all
did.
loved her.
Oh, I meant to tell you guys.
Oh.
Total side note.
Nantucket called.
I'm actually.
They did, and they've
seriously-
invited me back. Next,
Yeah.
in a week and a half, I'm going to Nantucket. Da-da-da-da-da,
What?
Bonzai.
Yeah. She looked at me when we were at the place left unnamed on Saturday, and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to Nantucket."
Yeah.
Blah, blah, and I burst out laughing. I'm like,
Well, they
"How-
invited her
how
in
the
December.
Fuck do we not
So that's
know?"
really not.
Well,
They
no,
did.
It's not nice.
They
have
didn't
a-
get her for the pretty
So
time.
this is a total side note. Yeah.
Couple questions about this trip.
Right.
Number one, all restraining orders have probably expired. Is
Yeah.
number one.
They're done.
Sta-
Yeah.
Statute
and
of
statute of limitations is
yeah.
the second one. Yeah.
The people that remember me are not there anymore. Maybe,
Oh.
yeah, like the people I probably
so
shouldn't
people
run into.
so people who've never spent time with you have invited you.
That's right. No, it's actually the girls I went used to live with. It's actually I'm really
Are they
looking
the
forward
girls
to it.
that
Yeah, did
dancing
we
with the
sit
bars?
with them?
The youth
No,
hostel?
it's one of the girls that
Okay.
dance at the bars. Allie, who's my
Nicole?
best
No.
girlfriend.
Then there's
Allie,
Nicole.
long blonde.
Right.
Allie's real skinny with like long
They were
blonde
all
hair.
skinny, blonde, beautiful. Yeah.
Allie's Allie's real skinny. But
Well,
either
then
way,
we couldn't see her.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
she's very
Sideways.
she's very
Her invisible
svelte.
fries cloak.
No, yeah, she's wearing the cloak of what was
Cloak of
it?
invisibility.
She's just very thin.
Cult of personality.
And very healthily, but she's very thin. So, but regardless, that's the one. And so she and I used to live there. She was going back. And I said, "Oh gosh, that'd be so much fun." She's like, "Oh, you should come." So there's one friend that we're staying with, and she obviously knows I'm coming because I'm not just gonna crash her house for a week. And And then, but I'm surprising other girls, so let's see how that works out.
Oh, fun.
Surprise! Anyway,
yeah.
so I'm excited. I'm going back to Nantucket, so I'll have some fun stories, I hope.
And a couple of regrets. If done correctly.
With every give, there's a take. So, yeah. One
I have
step
a feeling
forward.
we'll be playing for old acquaintance. Be forgot. A lot.
So, but I don't think that there's really like I don't know anything that I said. I'm thankful that it's out of my life. I know that's I don't have an answer.
No, but was there something that you were like, oh my God, I'm so grateful for this, and then it left, and you're like, oh, I really don't miss you. Like Celine Dion, for example.
My yellow car.
Oh my God, your yellow car, your Chevy Aveo.
Yes, Aveo, yes.
I remember that car.
My yellow car.
Made out of margarine? It sounds like a margarine.
Just about.
But you're having a Chevy butter substitute.
When I bought it and I drove it home and I thought it was so cute, my brother's like, it looks like you dumped that out of a cereal box. And
it did.
Okay.
I remember
He goes, where's the wind up in the back?
I was surprised your tits fit in that car, to be quite honest. I remember.
It was tiny.
It really was.
And Kelly didn't even want me to pull it in her driveway. It was that yellow. She was really like, she never drove in it. Never once. And she's like, I just maybe park it on the street. Just like across the street. It was pretty bad.
And maybe we can be grateful tomorrow for a theft.
But I was grateful for it when I had it.
Why
I was
not leave
also
the keys in it over there.
I was very grateful when I got the car.
And the windows down.
I was grateful for the car while I drove it, the few years that I had it, but I was grateful to
see it,
part
the
with
back
it.
side of it, yeah.
But
Well,
so
and God bless you for just being that fucking peppy. That nothing.
No, I'm
and
not
and
that
I'm
peppy.
Not, no,
but
and I'm
I-
not being a smart ass.
Oh, I know you're not.
Oh, but
Just break that.
I'm not actually.
God just came back to get me. I was lying.
I'm not being a smart ass. I'm really not that peppy. Like there is some shit that I just hate, but I just nothing I can.
But you forgot to be grateful for it before you started hating it.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I just like wasn't ever grateful for it. I just fucking hate it.
By the way, your little yellow car, I remember thinking when I saw it, I'm like, this car runs on 2 D-cell batteries, is what I thought.
Yes,
it looked like something that you put a little kid in.
Yeah.
You know, you charge the car and they just.
I gotta Google this.
It's a Chevy Aveo.
Chevy Aveo.
Look for a yellow one.
The worst part was that
The
it was bright
traditional
yellow.
spelling of Aveo?
Aveo. Literally, Chevy Aveo.
And I honestly, I don't think it would have been as bad if it wasn't
Use that in a
fucking
sentence.
yellow.
Oh no, I still think it would have been just a little go-kart, even if it was the other
But
color.
yellow was really.
I love a yellow
Oh, but
car.
you could see it coming. I mean, you knew.
I love the
Yeah.
Chevy Avalanche. Why would you name a car after a disaster?
That's a good point.
Because you're Chevy.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a really
Yeah.
good.
I'm in
See-
the Chevy
now
death
see if you
trap.
get, but I want you to see a yellow picture, so if you can find that, because that'll really drive it home for you. How
Yeah.
this little car was just.
And it really is tiny. And like when I was
What
driving,
year was
when
that?
I was, it was a, oh God, I don't know, it was whatever.
Wow, that's a pretty car.
Isn't it? It's cute.
Hey, babe.
Yeah, I was really into it when I had it.
Did you
Nice
feel
house.
fancy? Because I do.
The best part is that when I drove across the country with it multiple times,
It made it
Oh.
cross country.
multiple times.
It seems to come in minivan, 2-door, and 4-door.
Oh, that's
Oh,
what. Isn't that the one she?
no.
No, you had a 2-door.
That was it.
Oh,
No,
you
it
had
was a
four-door?
4-door. Oh yeah, that's it.
I like
That's-
when they put 4 doors in something that small.
That's her.
Yeah.
But
Or
the
that
best
one
part,
skinny friend.
we would we would lean the seats down, and Allie and I packed it full of all of our shit. I mean, to the brim, and drove across the country back and forth multiple times. And people would point and stare, and I would flip them off.
But it
like
got
that
you
weird
there, right?
granny at Hobby Lobby.
Because they knew the hamster was dying inside.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, and it was so small. Like
Can hold
everything
one
was packed
person and
into
one
it.
hamster
I
comfortably.
I had something I remember that was like stacked up behind my head. I didn't know what it was, and we're driving, and
Till it hits you.
The headrest.
every single fucking time. Every time I slowed down, it was like boom. God fucking damn it! And I push it back, and I'd like slam my brakes, and it was like goo.
So can I
How
say
long
that
did you have the car?
you're
How long?
thankful for not having that car anymore?
I suppose that I am.
Well, you're probably grateful that you're not driving across country and with everything you own
That
banging you
is
in the head.
true. Well, the worst part too is I had
What
the
was hitting
stick.
you?
I don't know.
Still?
I have no idea. I'm literally, when I say, like, picture that car filled to the brim with everything
It's a
that
small
I
brim.
owned.
It's a small brim.
Exactly. And I owned a lot of shit. And so it was everything that I owned in the entire world was in that car.
That's funny.
It's like she's playing Storage Wars with an Aveo.
I am truly.
Storage Wars moves.
Thank you for bringing it back to reality TV, because that's what happened.
Storage Wars on Wheels.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That is it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Mr. McKee.
Well, there's a couple of things that I'm going to be glad that they didn't work out.
Well,
And I will go. And I've said this many a time. And for whatever reason, every time I find that I'm interested in somebody, or I think that might be somebody that I should get to know, I find out because somebody else sweeps in and gets them or dates them or does whatever, and then I find out that they're just batshit crazy or they've got a problem. So I'm thankful for all those swing and a miss because you're gone. Oh, you're nuts. You know, yeah.
Oh, no, that's the extra. You gotta do things that you thought you were grateful for.
No, these are things that didn't work out that I'm thankful for. That's one thing. Now, I am thankful, and oddly, I've come to a little bit of a realization with this, and I know that I've mentioned this many a time in regards to a situation with a former employment situation that I was in prior to Edge Studios, and I came to the realization that aside from the fact that I'm away from somebody who is just an asshole, he was a complete jerk, I took a look and realized that I was becoming a person I didn't want to be because of that situation. And I'm glad that ended, though it was not pretty and it was not fun, and I still deal with ramifications of it. But I'm glad to be away from that because now that I look back and I really assess who I was during some of that period, I didn't like. I now look back and realize, I didn't like who I was.
Yeah. So it was
and not just that, but guilty by association.
Right.
How many people may have had it gone on further?
Right.
Looked at you and thought, you're part of this shit.
Yeah. You're just as bad. So I'm glad that.
Yeah.
The silver lining on that is, that I'm glad that I'm out because of I'm just better. I'm better for it. Is really what it is. And so are you all.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because you used to work on Tuesdays. Now, I actually just recently, because of meeting Bootsy on Saturday.
Yeah. Daniel Ray, our friend Daniel Ray.
Oh, and when you were out of the room, I mentioned that was one of my highlights of the whole week was meeting him because I fell in love with him a little bit.
Yeah, neat guy. So, but for your 40th, that was a thing you were hoping that he'd come in from Chicago. That was a really big thing, actually, for you.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
he drinks.
I remember everything. So, but that was a big thing.
All right.
And you thought he was coming, and etc. So anyway, we had been talking about that during your 40th birthday and then met him. So I had a dream about your 40th birthday, and it was more of a Clayton McKee, this is your life kind of a thing. And so you were up there because you remember how I blindfolded you so that you wouldn't see
Dan Gore, right?
And it was, which was very troubling. Digress. But
very troubling. I was grateful for that until I saw the restraining order.
It was really quite terrifying, actually. But anyway, people were coming out and, they would say what they wanted to say. And you'd be like, oh, my God, that's so-and-so. And Bootsy came out and you said, Bootsy. And you were very excited. And all of a sudden, this other person comes walking up and was not a part of it, was not on the bill. And all of a sudden, someone gave him the microphone.
It was not on the dais.
It was not on the dais. Your former employer. And he started talking.
Oh, this is in the dream.
In the dream.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure I would remember this.
Yeah, no, this was in the dream.
No, in the dream.
Christ Lord, I'm confused.
It took me a minute to catch up, too.
It was so real. And all of a sudden you went, oh, fuck no. And you stood up and you just were done. But he was there for a good reason in the dream. So it was...
What
there was a big check involved. There was a big check involved.
Well, make that come to...
I know, right?
I'll suffer through about anything.
For a little bit of cash at the end.
If you get me close to that $50K you owe me, we're going to be happy.
There was a check in it involved. So, but it was it's weird that you say that because that's...
I'd still like to point out that the canal next to that facility is still deep enough to drown in. So just in case.
Don't trip.
No, I have no influence. If somebody should choose to act on my behalf, do not use my name. Alfred Perkins.
Well, I have to go back to being a very jealous, let's say 8th grader, maybe 9th grader, that this girl next to me had seen cats and I had not seen cats. And I was so excited because I wanted to see cats. And then my mom was like, all right, shut the fuck up. So on a trip to Toronto, I was going up to see cats in Toronto.
Oh, God.
Whatever, the theater.
That's awesome.
The Princess Di, I think it's the Prince of Wales Theater or something. And I was so excited. And I remember sitting there just being so grateful that everything could be arranged, that, a short train ride, a few minor inconveniences, and I could be sitting in the theater watching cats. And then Gus the theater cat started, and I fell fast asleep. And I woke up and I was like, so cats.
God, you have no idea.
That's still happening. We still got a bunch of live cats on this stage, and we're waiting for one of them to die and go to heaven. When can that happen?
Take the balloon out.
Wow,
Let me
so you
get
slept.
a BB gun.
So you slept through an entire Broadway or an off Broadway, or how you would
No,
describe it?
just the one song, and I've seen it since because people have said. Well, of course, I went back again because if I truly like, I'm always like, was it just my mood? Like, what was it? Because I like there's a couple songs there that I really like. I'm like, but what was it? Or if someone says to me, you know, I've never gone to musical theater and I've heard so much about cats, I'd like to go see this. And I if you want to take the lowest bus in, the lowest road possible into musical theater, I'll do it. I'll hold your hand, but I'll just tell you, just nudge me if I'm snoring through Gus the Theater Cat, because I have still never seen Awake for it. I've seen that show 4 times. I still don't know what
that
the hell
song
he said.
either. I can't
No,
think
it's
of
not
it.
a song. It's a story about Gus the Theater Cat.
Excuse me. I'm gonna.
There
Google
might have been
it.
a song while I was sleeping.
I'm googling.
It's like
So-
25 fucking minutes.
May I interject here? Because I have a question. I've never seen cats. I've seen outfits.
You've seen Maggie and Marty.
I've seen outfits that are apparently from the show.
Yeah.
I've heard some songs.
And it's a cool set.
So
There's
now,
no getting around that.
are you
Oh, there's a really
are
cool
you
set.
telling me that this show is about feral cats
Now and forever.
that live in a theater?
In a
Yeah.
junkyard.
One's feral. The one that sings Memory. She's pretty much got one good eye.
Blinky? What the hell's her name?
But yes,
Isabella.
they live in a junkyard, and it's all based on T.S. Eliot's poems of
Old
cats.
Possum's Book of Practical
Right.
Cats.
And all it
I
is-
never was
Sweet, it sounds like Fat Albert.
A cat so
They all-
clever.
Magical
Mr. Mistopheles. Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
And
I was
it's just
out on the
every cat
rain,
tells their own
And
story,
the run on the tip
and then
of
it's
his
over.
tail.
And they
There's
tell
no
it
plot.
to Deuteronomy.
There's no plot. There's no nothing. It's
It's
sorry.
an
It's just
interesting
this-
evening of cabaret where a bunch of cats sing their fucking life story so that one of them can die and go on to another life. The 9th life. It's horrible.
It really is fucking
There are,
awful.
but some songs are fun, like Memory, and I really
remember
love Magical
my
Mr.
mom
Mist. I mean,
saw
I
it.
like it's one of my
Betty
favorite.
Buckley.
My mom
I
saw
like,
it in
I like
London.
McCavity.
It's a fun.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask
He's
on
a
Thursday. We'll have to
ginger
ask my mom what she thought about it, because she saw it in London, and I don't recall hearing any review really.
And if you haven't seen a lot of theater,
Right.
it's like, well, that's interesting. It happened. Like you'd be
It's
like,
great
Yeah, but
set,
think about
cool
it. It was
costumes.
wasn't it for? I don't know if it still is the longest running.
Yeah.
no, Phantom Beta,
But it
Phantom.
was.
Okay, but it
God.
was for So,
I love-
But I mean, just the idea. The why is it just
Because
people
because
said we need to go
mediocrity
see
is
it?
what passes for
Okay.
art.
Okay.
No, and I mean, there's a really funny Forbidden Broadway is this funny show that comes and goes in New York, and they just make fun of everything,
Okay.
and it's they parody everything, everybody, and one of their things was "Please Stop Cats," and it was set to the tune of a chorus line because it was when Cats became the longest running Broadway show, and it's dun 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 again. Purr, lick, hick, scratch. Purr, lick, hip, scratch. Now downstage, away from the litter box. God, I hope I get it. How many pussies does he need? How many Swiss are Siamese? How many pussies does he need?
Oh my god.
Oh God, I hate this show. I really hate this show. I've got a flea in my coat. You know.
Oh my god, I want to go see this really bad now.
And it's like cats. What such a denigration when the Broadway record
Right,
breaks.
right, right.
Cats. Such. A,
And what is
every
this on?
dollar it makes.
oh my god, I love it.
One's chorus line when the hit list of Broadway shows, but this one's so goddamn witless. The public goes
Ding,
cats.
ding, ding.
Proves it mediocre, often passes for the best. It's absolutely
Oh, that's
hysterical.
The
fantastic.
chorus line was the very, 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 very first show I ever saw. I won tickets from the Broadway, the department store that was at the mall at
The
Metro
Broadway,
Center.
yeah.
And I had entered something, and I happened to be like staying homesick. I'm sure I've told you guys this before, but I was staying homesick, and the woman happened to call my house during the day. I was in like 5th grade, and she's like, "Hello, is this Catherine June?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah." And she's like, "Oh, you've just won tickets to," and I literally cried. I started crying, and I'm like, "But I never win anything!" Like I was like having a heart
Yeah,
attack.
she's already a fatalist
on the
at 10.
phone.
Go figure.
Exactly.
This is not.
I never
acting.
win anything.
I'm sensing a pattern.
I was hysterically crying to a complete stranger.
If Palmer comes up with like random shit,
Yeah.
Who was
we're checking
probably
Katie
really
Jones.
questioning. This woman was questioning the life choices that had led her to that moment at that job right then.
I'm calling 10-year-olds at home.
I gotta quit calling these people.
Yeah, I'm calling delinquents at home and
I love
offering
it.
them theater.
Oh God!
4
But it
minutes.
was the most magical night of my
funny.
life.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was my very first ever off-Broadway show. It was magical.
Justifying every reason to fake being sick and stay home.
Absolutely.
yeah.
I would've
There are
stayed-
great reasons.
And-
Luke and Laura getting married, I get it.
But so
I'm just saying.
My dad had a really bad accident where his hand got turned into a Triscuit, and he was like at home for months watching TV, and they sewed his hand inside his body.
It's weird 'cause
to
you're
to
make
get it
his
to
skin-
regrow.
Yeah, it regenerated skin, so his one hand looked like it was 5, and the other one looked 60.
What?
Very creepy
That
stuff.
is so cool.
But he would watch because we got WPIX. It was it was
That's
cutting edge.
amazing.
And I asked doctors all the time if they've ever
so
heard
his
of this.
hand
They're
was
like
sewed into his leg.
inside his abdomen.
So he was sewn like this.
Yep, with a hand inside.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was gross, and my mom tricked him
Did
into
the
it.
fingers come back?
He had like a claw. His hand was like this for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And then Ruthie went and she made another drink and was like,
Because he was like, he
fantastic.
wanted nothing to do with the surgery. And when he went under, she was like, do it.
That
And
God
he
bless
woke up
Ruthie.
so mad at her. And but his hand grew back, and it was kind of
That's cool.
kind of normal looking. So
What if
They
you wanted
still-
to like
it was
pull
like,
it
do
out?
they
Like
still
you're in there and
oil
you're like,
of
"Fuck
abdomen?
this."
How long does it have to be in there?
You all have less than 2 minutes to wrap up whatever you're doing.
So he would sit there and he would watch. We get WPIX, and I can't remember what the other WOR is, the other station out of New York, and he would watch all the commercials. Well, the good thing about those shows is any of the Broadway shows, especially back then, ran commercials constantly to get people into New York to see the shows. And so my dad they would play like little clips of songs, but he would make them all one song and sing them around the house.
Oh, I love it.
And so he was always walking around going, orchestra and balcony, what you want is what you see. And I'm like, yeah, keep going. He was like, I don't know what. He's like, you're asking for tits and ass. Just go for the whole thing. But I can't remember because he had made it into one song, and it was from God I Hope I Get. It was like God I Hope I Get It, orchestra and balcony, and it played like a little. But he made it into one song. He didn't realize it was a medley of like 10 songs, and it would just crack me up when he would do it. But he would watch it, and he would, and I love the
dads are
I Love
great.
New York station, so he would do it. My nipples would be hard, and they would come down for La Caja Fall, and the drag queens were all on the stairs of the New York Public with the big lions, and they were like all the drag queens were like all over the lions and all over the things. And they're I love New York, da 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 da. And when it would do the da 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 da, that's when they would do their little whatever the dance moves was for like 5 counts. And I'd be like, oh, and he's like, oh, it's beautiful women. I'm like, yes, it is. No, it's not. But he loved the commercial because of the beautiful women on the statues, and I loved the commercial because it was hot men on the statue.
I love it.
I
It
love
is the end of hour 3. We've wrapped it up. Another Tuesday night in the bag with us. The show with Clayton McKee on Q Talk
Who's in the
America.
bag? Happy birthday, Marnie.
Marnie's
Happy birthday,
birthday is
Marnie.
Thursday.
Tomorrow.
My bad. I'm off a day. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. We will be here again next Tuesday night. We've got a couple shows left for the remaining of the year, and then we're going to take a 2-week hiatus over Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. But do be back with us next Tuesday. Oh, thank you for being here. On behalf of Katie, Marnie, Aaron, and Al, I'm Clayton McKee saying we will see you next Tuesday!
Listening to the show on Q Talk America.
I want to say it was like 8 weeks, but it may not have been that long. Yeah, that would be really hard to wake up and just be like, oh, I can't move my something inches. Yeah, it got me out of being in Oklahoma because I hated that show, and I refused to sing Everything's Up to Date in Kansas City because that's the part I got cast. I don't even know why I auditioned for it. Like I knew I hated it going in, and I got cast as Will singing Everything's Up to Date in Kansas City, and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
the?
I